take this chance to pay all the beauty in this timeless revelry. Every moment at your window, every hour at your door, in the starlight I will follow endlessly. Let the days begin to tumble as they must. Let the past begin to crumble into dust. Like a child, you see my wonder. You reach out to ease my fall, and we drift into the silence after all. Let the days begin to tumble as they must. Let the past begin to crumble into dust. waiting for someone out beyond the wire. Saw the whole town burning, running from the fire. I wanna be that someone, so real, so real. Run with the wolves and learn how to feel. Nation crying, heard them call my name. After I was buying, I bound my head in shame. Saw a figure lying under a broken cross, and though he lay there dying, I felt no sense of love. I wanna be.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sunday, Super Sundays at the All-Star Racing League. Thanks for watching Tarnation TV's coverage of said racing series. This is season number 3, race number 2. Thanks to the Flat Out Racing Network for covering us last week as we were over with SMO at Homestead, Miami for their season finale. Everything gets covered here, so we are resuming coverage of this series with Brian Wolf and David Chin and the whole crew here now. Race number 2 to 8 will be done here on Tarnation TV. Anyhow, let's get to it. My name is Blaine Donlan, and Rod Rustin is joining me. How you doing, man?
I am good. Yeah, good. Glad to be back with these guys again. We missed out with them last night. But also, we had a really good race last week at SMO at the Homestead Speedway. That was pretty cool to watch. And but now we're back with these guys. It's fun. It'd be interesting. We didn't see last week's race. Obviously, you got the results of it. You said I think Robert Spring got 3rd place last week, but unfortunately, he is not here tonight. Off on vacation, I guess. So.
That's a Spring.
Yeah.
Spring, Roberts, and Rawson ended up winning the thing. So.
Yep.
See, some of them aren't here yet, but we still have half an hour before we get to green flag racing, so they've got about 20-25 minutes to get in here to make qualifying.
Rawson, last season's champion, just beat out Chuck T. Unfortunately for Chuck T, the race did not go his way last season, but he's going to probably be back and stronger and ever and see what he can't do.
That's the thing here too, especially these guys are, you know, it's tight competition here too, because they don't necessarily will get 40 drivers every Sunday, but they still get a good 20 to 30. Just makes the competition that much tighter. And they do have shorter races. They only run 57 laps here now in season 3. And with a little bit of an earlier start, I guess it's just letting people, you know, get back to their Sunday evening, which is a cool idea. Like we've said it a million times before, every league has their own little ways of setting stuff up. And, you know, we're big fans of all of it.
Speaking of Robert Spring, he is already in our chat. And I raced for him last night. You raced there as well.
I was going to say, I was racing, I was like, oh, Spring's behind me. And I'm like, no, that's Weston, because I recognized the car as Spring's car. But why were you racing for him?
Just something to do. He, wasn't going to be there, so I figured we'll get his car out there and see what kind of fun we have. And unfortunately, you beat me last night by one position. Yep. Last lap, I was right in the mix of it. You were just a little behind us right there in the draft, and just the way the momentum went, the Cody and Fett kind of come back. I hit the back of the car in front of me, which slowed me right down. You can't do that on the last lap. You rolled right by me and took, I think, I got 14th. I think you got 13th in it, 13th or 12th. You were just ahead of me.
I think, yeah, because I was 14th. I haven't raced in a really long time. And then at Talladega Nights Shake and Bake on Saturdays, I dumped in there yesterday and the week before. I think I got 14th in both races. I'd have to check. But either way, not too shabby. I was able to get it all finished up. So that was kind of cool. That's stiff competition there, too. We'll see a bunch of those guys in here tonight as well.
Big time stiff competition, and I managed to stay out of trouble all night. Stayed on the lead lap. Got in one of the pit stops. Just kind of didn't get a good entry round of the guys I was pitting. Got out. So 4 of us, well, 2 of us got together. Then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6 of us, and we were holding our own, but we weren't gaining up on the field. And luckily, a late caution came out, brought us all back into it. So, and I think that late caution got you back on the lead lap. So.
It did. It was a crazy circumstance because early I got caught in a wreck, and then I went a lap down because I didn't get caught in a wreck. I went a lap down because I missed the pits. I was coming in too hot, and I was thinking, well, I can probably make it, but to my left was a bunch of cars. So I decided to steer back across the grass and get back out on the track. I actually ran out of fuel when I got all the way around into the pits, and it ran out about 100 feet away from my pit stall. So got into the pit stall, got gas, that put me a lap down. And it was like 3rd lap down. So I wasn't lucky dog. Couple of cautions. That last one put me back on the lead lap, and I ended up getting, a lead lap finish. It was pretty wild, like they say, though, and we'll say it here tonight. If you get in some trouble, if the race isn't over, some pretty crazy stuff can happen.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen guys photo finish, that had trouble early in the race. And like with this league, I'm trying to see Ken Roberts. I don't see him here yet. I know his work schedule, he ends up getting in here pretty tight, but he was able to get 2nd place here last week. So let's see if anybody's out here practicing. We can get the camera angles going here. And oh, yes, they are. Let's get a better camera than a spectator camera here. We'll just check these guys out in practice for now. But yeah, it's been a lot of coverage. Our Maverick coverage is over, so on Thursdays and Sundays now you'll see Tarnation TV broadcasting, and then we've got an all-star race with Primetime Racing in the middle of December. I think it's the 19th. It's a Friday night. Their truck series is an all-star race that night, so that's always fun. You gotta win some races to get into the all-star races.
Oh yeah. Of course, a lot of those weekend coming up, there won't be much racing. I don't know if they are running next Sunday. From last night, FRN was the one hosting it, and Seth was saying that pretty much he's all done until next week, so nothing going on for him. is normal. What you guys normally do, I guess, is all Thanksgiving and around Thanksgiving. So a lot of leagues won't be running this week.
Speaking of broadcasters, we're looking at Seth Cole right there running some practice laps. And we also should grab Brian Wolf because we always like talking to him before these races get going. Could you grab Wolf and bring him down? There he is right there. Brian Wolf live on Tarnation TV, man. How you doing this week?
Good to be man. Back. Yeah. Actually, I just pulled out onto the track. Let me get out of here and talk to you guys for a minute.
Well, we can follow you around if you want.
Oh, that's fine. I wanted to be able to look at my notes, but I only need a minute of your time anyway.
Steelers car.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Steelers for our football thing this year,
nice.
Or for this season anyway. Not this year, but I figured why not bring a little extra trash talk into the mix, you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah, if you want to run a football team, let her rip.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the guys have college teams, or this other ones have the NFL and that. But since I'm from the area, I chose the Steelers. That's been my team pretty much lifetime.
Cool.
Well, I started painting up a Bears car, and then I realized, wait a minute, I ain't gonna get the race at all this next season.
You can hang on to it for season 4 because I think that's where we're going. That's actually what I wanted the opportunity to do is thank some people, especially you guys for covering us the whole season. I know I got to thank Seth too, and my apologies to him for not getting him the car files last time in a timely manner. That only makes me look bad, but we still had a good time. Race 1, and here we are already, Blaine. Season 3, race 2. Still anybody's game at this point. Anybody enters at this point, and it's still up for grabs. You know what I mean? It's only 8 weeks long, and plus we've changed the format just a hair. We've been tweaking it down to 57 laps. So we get, over in time, being that it is Sunday and, it's kind of a tough time to race. So we shortened it up, and I think that's going to help us even have closer pack racing, and it'll be more guys involved, in the conversation for a trophy at the end. So, and also it's Lotto Q this season. We changed that up too a little bit. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, Lotto's kind of neat. It sometimes it leads to some pretty interesting opening laps when guys don't want to be up there. They're like, I don't want to be up here. I'm dropping back,
Yeah.
That would be me.
Yeah. Let me out of here.
Yeah, just trying to mix it up and just, fun with a capital fun here, man. I think Sunday nights is, I'm waiting for guys to start beating the door down, trying to get over here and race. Because it has just been a blast. This format and the total points collection format too. There's no playoffs, no winning you're in. It's just consistency and making most of the races that you can, and you give yourself a shot at a championship. So it goes by so fast.
Yeah, and the shorter races is cool too, and it lets, like you said, it lets people get back to their Sunday evening, which is nice. So that attracts a lot of people too. Like, oh, it's 57. It's only 10 to 15 minutes shorter, but sometimes it's. And for the times that we've broadcasted with you guys, there's not a whole lot of caution flags going on because there's a little bit more space out there, and people are getting the hang of it. Like I even found doing the Talladega Challenge there on Thursdays, and they get 40 cars, and we're only getting like 1, maybe 2 yellows a week. I don't know what's going on with everybody, but the Talladega racing's been phenomenal the past 5 or 6 months. People are just learning to just give a little bit more space. Like, I don't care. I'll go
Perry
3
Bond's
wide.
Giving me the business right now.
Like, I don't care. I'll go 3 wide lap 1. Like we were doing that yesterday. We were getting yelled at for it. And I'm like, who's going 3 wide before we hit the start finish line? I'm like, that was me. Because I don't care.
That's another thing we should mention too, Blaine, is man, it's been fun the last 2 weeks over at Jeff's place racing against you.
Yeah.
That one sprint race we had a week ago was.
Oh my God.
I still can't get over that one. I saved that replay for sure. I'm going to do something with that one for sure with Fluid Studios. But that was, it's been so much fun, man. And I wanted to also just the opportunity real quick, if I can, just to thank some people, because without these people, it just doesn't happen. First, Bryant Motorsports, Charlie Bryant, Dave Chin, and all the guys that, basically pay our bills over here for the broadcasting, the server, the team speak, and all the costs that goes into doing this is, provided by the league, All Star Racing. So it's just, I've just been blessed to have this handed to me like this, and we've had so much fun with it. So I couldn't be more grateful for them. Of course, you guys for doing the broadcasting. It's been fun, and really just all these drivers, that show up every week and they're excited. We've got some guys that haven't raced together, a lot in the other leagues and stuff. So it's just been fun. That's really all I can say about it.
Well, and that's the name of the game, right? If you're not having fun, it's like, you have to take it serious because it does take up a lot of our time. But at the end of the day, you can always press reset if you crash. Not like in real life where you need a fresh $200,000 to get another car.
Right. Yeah. And I think the format really kind of makes it exciting too. I mean, these races, they go by so quick, and strategies change every lap depending on how the yellows fall. And not one of these, these are, for lack of a better term, these races are snowflakes. There ain't one alike. You know what I mean? You'll never have the same thing happen twice. You know what I mean?
Well, even yesterday, like I missed I had to miss pit road yesterday. I was actually streaming that on Tarnation TV Turbo from the cockpit. I haven't done that in years. But the, coming down with the pack, going a little bit too fast, going, I could probably make it, but if I lose control, I'm going to wipe out like 10 dudes. So then I just went across the grass and lost a lot of speed. Barely made it back around the track. Ran out of gas before I got to my pit stall, but it rolled into the pit stall. Put me down. But then you just catch the right amount of cautions, and I'm like, I'm not the lucky dog. I'm not the lucky dog again. But you just stay at it, and there I am on the final lap, back on the lead lap somehow, and it's like, geez, how did this happen? But it's a lot of fun to get out there, and even with a little bit of damage, I knew I needed someone behind me, and I was able to make it happen. And that way, you kind of stayed with it, and it's just cool to. Like you said, no two races are exactly the same. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's I can't even really, I haven't said it enough, have I? Just how much fun this has been. I mean, there is work that goes into it and stuff, but it's all worth it. I mean, it's, any effort you put into this is, I've been getting, tenfold. I've been getting back tenfold, and the amount of fun. I always say to these guys, if we have much more fun than this, someone's going to call the cops.
So there's a question, because Rod Weston yesterday he drove Robert Spring's car. If that happens here, like say you weren't allowed to make it, and I drove the 29, do you get the points, or does the guy driving it get the points?
We really haven't crossed that bridge.
Because I know Maverick.
Don't know what we would do in that case.
Yeah, Maverick, they keep track of the manufacturer's points. So the car...
Owner points.
Owner points. The car gets the points, but the driver driving it gets his own separate points. So there's like a couple ways, but that's just layers and layers of point tracking, which is kind of a lot more work. It's easier just to say, let's just use the game points, generate the exports.
That's exactly how we do it too. We let the sim for us.
Yeah. And over to Maverick, the reason why they do that at the beginning of the season, that the driver points don't matter, but the owner points do, to where you could get a provisional if you're like last year's champion, or it is complex, but that's the reasoning why they do that.
Right.
Yeah. It's just simple. Ours is just, it's the winner gets 40 points. Second place is 35 points, which is kind of like a 4-point bonus for winning. And then third place would be 33, then 32, then 31, and so forth on down to 10. Right. And that's where your provisional starts at 10. So get a point, 1 point lead a lap, 1 point lead the most laps, and that's it. Whoever has the most after 8 races is the champion.
Right. So even looking at last week's results, where you got Rawson with 41 and Roberts with 37, Rawson led the lap, of course, because he won the race. But Roberts won the most because he had 2 bonus points.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, and it keeps it so tight. Because I remember even with an 8 race schedule, you're coming down to like race 8. Like we have no idea who's going to win the thing because, season 1 we did because you cheated and like totally blew everybody out of the water. But even though it was like you really had an awesome season where you won a couple of races, and that put you ahead, but not really by much, because I think Rodney Sullins could have caught you, but he wasn't able to make one race, which then, kind of gave you some relief on that points, because, okay, well, Rodney was the one that could have got you, but because we bumped 1 week, he was on a trip somewhere, and, that kind of sealed that deal. But you still had to show up and put out a good performance too. So it wasn't like you could just sleep it off.
Absolutely. And, it's like I said, this is season 3 already. And those first 2, Chuck Taylor was another one who gave me pretty much my headaches last season. He hasn't been coming for some reason. I don't know where maybe he races somewhere else tonight, but he was real close up there, and him and Sullins really made me nervous that first season, up through, race 7. I pretty much had it locked, but, last season was Rawson's all the way.
Yeah,
good,
man, that's
he made every race, good, consistent finishes. You know what I mean? Couple wins. Yeah, that's what does it.
Yeah, even if you had good, consistent top 5s the whole way through, you can still end up winning. That's why I like that playoff system. There's no real playoff system. It's just a straight, like even at Maverick, same thing. Right back to Jack Merkel winning that thing. I think he locked it up like 3 or 4 races to go, because he was like 600 points ahead of everybody else, and then it's to the point of no return, right? But hey,
that's 30 some races though.
and he's that good that okay, well, why take that lead away with a playoff system? Like, if the guy's going to dominate, let him dominate.
Mm-hmm. That's the same thing here. I mean, it gives everybody an equal chance. You know what I mean? Especially at this track. We have about 3 minutes left in practice.
Yep. And
then I'm going to just hit the button for qualifying, because we are Lotto Q. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier or not, but I'm going to let you guys at it, man. We have a 10-minute happy hour. I think if you at some point, I think Jessica wanted to come up in here with you guys and say a few words or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm going to leave that up to you guys. I don't know if you got my message on the social media or not over that.
I was scrambling to get it ready because I was, so I had some stuff I had to deal with. So we'll grab her right now for the pre-race.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
She up there?
Yeah,
she is. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jessica wanted to, and here she is. She wanted to join you for a couple minutes. Let me get up here and give these guys their driver's meeting. I got to hit the qualifying button here or the happy hour button here in just a minute once we turn over, and we're gonna go green, and hopefully I can podium tonight and talk to you guys after.
Yeah, man, that's the goal, right?
It's like we got a decent crowd here tonight.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Jessica, live on the air. What do you got? Brian just mentioned to me that you wanted to come up in the booth, so here we are.
Wait, I'm actually in here?
Yes, we are live. Yeah, we're just in the pre-race now. We're getting about, probably not another 10 minutes to kill, so.
Oh, okay, because I was in there wondering if I could be part of the broadcast booth tonight with you guys, since I got nothing to do. And I'm not going to race, so.
Oh, you're not racing? Oh, okay.
No, I told you I'm retired.
Yeah, but you still do here and there, though. You can't retire completely. That's impossible.
I will admit, I have like this little checklist of people that I really need to deal with before I actually walk away fully, and one of them is Seth Cole.
Right. Well, you should get out there and wreck him.
I don't think she has to worry about that. He just, I think, was out there trying to do a qualifying lap and blew up.
Oh, well, that works.
Apparently, I cannot get into the server, I guess.
They're not in qualifying yet, so.
Well,
yeah, I still got about 2 minutes.
Is there a password for the server?
No.
Don't believe so.
I'm coming through RLM.
Does it say, did you go through Race LM and come through ASR?
Want to go back to RLM again? Just reopen.
Looks like we got Robert Spring in the YouTube chat. What's up, Tarnation TV? Big shout out to Rod Weston. Thanks for last night, buddy. Yeah, that was cool. You probably wouldn't even need to download his car. You probably already had it.
See, look, ASR Racing and 2K3.net, right?
That should be it.
I didn't hit launch race. It's not letting me in.
I'm on direct IP. That's how I get in. Because Race RLM doesn't work for me. ever
Doesn't
since
work
they
now.
changed it.
Is it going to work for me now? Find out. It did. Yay.
Oh, there it is. Cool.
Slowly
So,
but surely.
anyway, I was watching a lot of that stuff too. By the way, I was watching back on the NR, the offline broadcast. No, I mean not the offline, but the online broadcast that you guys did. And I was amazed to see Garland win a race. I was really happy for him.
I don't think he was ready for the interview because that was pretty awesome when he wins. Like when guys that don't really win that often, and then they got to do an interview. Like they're kind of stuck for words for the first 10 seconds.
That was Robert
Yeah.
Springs.
So,
Yes, it
okay,
was.
did they just set the server back?
No, they're
Nope.
still in practice.
Oh, I know what it is. Shoot. I forget. This is the series with the core thing.
Yeah, the core is a weird one. But we fixed it.
Yeah,
There's
they
like
might
one
have
line
to,
in there that
you know,
has.
I'm gonna fix it real quick.
I run the same core everywhere I go and don't have any problems.
Yeah, that one you sent me is pretty much flawless.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just watching here in the happy hour session. These guys right now. Oh no, they're still in practice actually. I thought they'd be going because they're gonna rack them up here for lotteries, so that'll be cool. You can see on the screen there, upcoming live broadcasts here on the Tarnation TV channel. This not this Thursday, but next Thursday, December 4th. I guess it's Thanksgiving for y'all.
No.
Yeah, so I got that in reverse order. We've got next Sunday we're here.
Yep.
All-Star Racing Super Sundays on the 30th of November. And then we return to RTG for the Rolling Thunder Talladega Challenge on Thursday evening at December 4th. Of course, produced by Tarnation TV, commentary by Flat Out Racing Network. Michael Norman, Kyle Matthews, and Seth Cole.
Drivers, to your car.
And then you can see there, Primetime Racing League is having an all-star race. It's the Truck Series. That's a Friday night. That'll be a lot of fun. And, of course, there's Maverick on the list. What? March 3rd, 2026.
Blaine Donelon
That race would
Already
be...
getting ahead to jump, aren't they?
did the
race-
random qualifying. Blaine Donelon 10th.
Nice.
Rod Weston gets 14th. And now Jessica's up here with us. And she gets 21st.
Oh,
Wait, what?
We always
Last.
have a joke about who, with these random qualifyings, who out-qualifies whom. So,
Oh, I thought they actually qualified. They're doing Lotto?
they used
no,
to.
they do
yeah.
Lotto now, yeah. This season,
two-
next season, it could be different.
2 blank spots again. That's strange.
No, we don't.
Not sure why
Not
that
really
is.
sure. D Little, I saw that car earlier, and I hadn't seen it back out there since. And I saw it, and it's a black with a yellow wireframe. So, kind of hoping.
really?
I don't have Godfrey either. I
I've got
downloaded all the
Godfrey.
cars.
Yeah, Godfrey's got a blue and white 7-Eleven.
Okay. Oh, 'cause yeah. Oh, I've seen that car before. For whatever reason, I just don't have it tonight.
He's going very slow. Looks like he's waiting for some drafting help here in the happy hour. This is where these guys will probably just put around here for the next 5 minutes or so and take a break, practice their pit stops, all that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, and they got that driver's meeting and all that they're probably in the middle of doing too.
Yeah, I think they
Trying
do
their
that.
P's and Q's.
Yeah.
And so they're giving them all the business, you know.
All right, so real quick, let's talk about how this is going on because the last race I saw, Garland won, right? I got told by Seth that Garland had no third gear. He was
Yeah.
worried about if they had to make green flag pit stops, which they did. Now I'm wondering because you guys have seen it over there in RTG for the Tally Challenge about late green flag stops and having fuel and how they're getting themselves sorted. I'm wondering if this is going to be a trend over here starting with green flag pit stops with fuel issues.
I've noticed a lot of really, really good races in the past few months. I just mentioned that to Brian there about 10 minutes ago, how we're not having high caution counts. 1, 2,
Yeah.
or 3 maybe at the most. But sometimes you'd end up with like 7 or 8. And that's a super boring race to watch. But I think a lot of the drivers have just been, you know, like just give a little bit more space is really all it is. Because especially when you get out there super tight like that, guys start bumping in the corners and all this kind of nonsense. It just causes accident after accident. And accidents happen. We understand that. But we've been seeing some great ones. Even yesterday at the Shake and Bake series, there was only 2 or 3 yellows, and they run a 66-lap race.
I have not watched that broadcast. I need to go watch that one back.
Yeah, it was a good race. Another really good race and long runs, and you know. And you know what the funny thing is? Jeff wasn't even there. Chris ran the show, and I don't know where Jeffrey was, but
He showed up, I guess, and he was in the chat.
oh, was he?
From what I understood, I watched a little bit of the broadcast, and Seth said that he was in the chat for a little bit. So
Okay.
must
That was
have got busy and forgot about it. He's been busy working on his house. So
right. I had the broadcast on, and it was just you know, on my phone turned down kind of thing. Like it was there, but I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on because I was too busy driving. But the phone's a nice option because it's a small screen.
I had it on my second monitor, but I don't know if I accidentally hit it and it paused it. So I could see all of the chat, but the broadcast was like just at the beginning screen and it never did anything. So I might have paused it, you know, just unknowingly. But when I'm racing, when I do the broadcast, I do it in a Windows. So that way I can transfer, you know, jump back and forth and move around, and it doesn't kick me out. But when I race, I do it full screen, and so I can't, you know, once I was in there, I couldn't go out and fix it.
I find too sometimes, even though it says it started, you have to like refresh the page. It's strange how that'll work sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, we still have to negotiate our contract race breaks over here, you know.
Yeah. Flat gets those.
Yeah, we get those all the time.
Yeah, I see that. Occasionally you get the, you know, crank it up, but that's about it. We want to do stress occasionally.
Well, like, yeah, crank it up is a great way. Yeah, that we just disguise our race break with a crank it up.
No,
we're gonna
no,
mute
no.
the mics and we're gonna mute the mics and we're gonna crank it up. You know.
Of course.
Blaine, what you could do is you could do a try to figure out a different format or something with the digger. You know what I mean? Just put something like in the track and just look up at the camera and just like do that the digger can.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like, I slowly stumble upon things as I'm going through. Like, wonder if that would work, and then you start trying different stuff out. And
Do the Narnia cam. All you gotta do is just watch it with Seth and watch Seth go flying through the air. It's fun.
the best way to do it.
Seth and his K-pop demon hunters.
Yeah, I have no idea what in the world he's thinking about running with that, but okay.
And the first time I saw that, I had to give him a hard time about it. And the
I'm
only
just
reason I
thinking-
did, because the reason I knew what it was is my sister was down, and she has a little girl that she kind of used to babysit and whatnot. She was down, and she wanted to watch Netflix, so we set her up with her own little channel, and she, all the time, the whole time she was down, you just watched K-pop demon hunters. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And then I see Seth a little bit on there, and he was all happy and proud about it. I'm like, okay.
I'm gonna run a
Okay,
Care
walk
Bears,
away
Care Bears
slowly
car.
and look at the next driver.
Yeah, I'm gonna run a Care Bears car.
Here you go.
Yeah,
So what's
Mine-
Care Bear you gonna be? You gonna be Sunshine Bear?
sure.
Any car that I've ever painted has a gizmo on it.
I should be like the diggers from like Fraggle Rock. That'd be cool. Start
Made
doing
of-
like random sponsors from like old Jim Henson shows.
I have a gizmo on my car, and he's either holding a Heineken, or in some of the older ones, he was actually holding a remote control driving an RC truck.
Wait. If you're saying
Oh,
Gizmo,
nice.
are you talking about the DuckTales Gizmo?
Gizmo, the one in
The
Gremlins.
Gremlin.
Oh.
The Mogwai.
Why? Yeah. Then if you, any of the cars I painted, there's a champagne glass with a little mouse swimming in it. It's my signature mark.
Is that okay? That's something you put on every car?
Yep.
Ah, cool. Yeah, I did that with a bunch of stuff early. Like I had like a spoiler. I would use the same spoiler. It was just like a dark blue spoiler with like a dotted line across it. Like it was just something simple.
The
But then-
gizmo I put on my cars, but the little mouse with the champagne glass is my little. You know how Rodney Sullivan's has a little mark that he puts on the car that everybody knows it's his. That's
Right.
mine. The little mouse in the champagne gas. Glass. Woo.
Champagne glass. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But yeah, you've got your own little guy on there. So that's like the Rod Weston this painted this car thing. Yeah, I never thought of that, doing that. I should have done that. A little logo of some kind. I guess I could always hide the Tarnation TV logo on there.
There you go.
Yeah, because I know like Robert Spring. That was weird too. Yesterday, I was racing with not Robert Spring. Who was it? Stephen Brandstetter and Bob Sire. In that race yesterday, I painted those two cars as well. So I think that's probably the first race ever where there's actually three of my cars on track. The one I was driving, the one Pumpkin was driving, and the one that Brandstetter was driving. I painted all three of them. I'm like, hey, better watch out, Rodney Sellens. I'm coming for you. Because he ends up having like half the cars on the track. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of schemes, I'm looking at the schemes for this season right now, and I'm looking at. I remember them saying last season when I was racing that they were going to do an NFL or a football type theme.
Mm-hmm.
We already know that. We already know the Robert Spring is always Ohio State, which is not a problem. And then I saw the 27 earlier had Detroit Lions, which obviously they won today against the Giants, 34-27. So congratulations to Detroit. I actually like Detroit.
Cool.
Georgia Tech machine. I like that. Moo or be stung by Ed Millen. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, some of them are really cool. Some guys didn't opt to do it. Paglia didn't do it. Yeah, Finley did it. Yeah, that is a cool one.
Like I told Brian earlier, I started building a Bears cars until I realized that I wouldn't even going to be able to get out in this season at all. So, and when you were off in October, I ran with them for a bit.
That didn't actually that didn't pan out the way you kind of did it, right?
It didn't fare very well because they're either Brian Wolf or Brian Wolf kept running into the back of me.
I'm just saying, I was in those races that you were racing, so I'm just saying, I know it didn't turn out too well for you.
Nope. No. One race on a Saturday, I was racing following you, and Brandstetter, I think, was right behind you. The three of us were just trying to get you pushed up to the front on the outside, and I just misjudged
because
the
nobody
corner.
was going up there. That's the only reason why I went up there.
I just misjudged the corner just a little bit, got in the back of Brandstetter, and unfortunately turned him around and killed your momentum, but I think you ended up doing well in that race after all, so.
Oh, that's fine. It happens. I mean, it's not something I'm crying about looking back on. The one thing I am upset about myself in that last little bit of run that I beat myself up so bad about is I think I finished 5th or 6th in the last race I was in this series, and the only reason why is because I got a black flag for speeding on pit road, and I screwed myself out of royally being in the top 3 again.
Yep, that'll do it. It's not hard to do. I mean, everybody's trying to do that hot pit.
They're about to go racing.
Yep.
Drivers, to your cars.
All right.
Maybe? Maybe not? Are they having a reset?
Yeah, I don't. Seth told me a little trick. Don't retire. That's when my game crashed every single time. So if I just wait for
Okay.
the 10 seconds to go away, then everything seems to be fine. But anyway, I got the old FSP pace car out there. They don't even run NASCAR Racing 2003 anymore. But
Linsky got the pole in the Packers car,
yeah,
Surprise.
and Ken Roberts outside with the old VW Mountain Dew car. I like that old retro car. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Gary
it's
Heiser in the 3 and the Good Wrench car. Dennis McCarthy.
Where is everybody at?
Backstretch.
Yeah, I only see 6 cars. Huh?
Oh, you got that messed up core.
Really?
Yep.
They're all there.
Because I'd gotten out and got in, I got the Cortex, I thought, because they gave, I went ahead and did all that.
In row 3, we got Binger and Rawson. Denny Carroll, I don't have his car, unfortunately. Right next to Paglia on the 28. We got Finley and Bond. Bob Sire, Randy Waugh running a roll tide, of course. Who's that? That's Garland. There's Seth back there with Ulysses. There's David Chin in the 88. The Washington Commanders. That's a cool looking car. John Godfrey. Of course, Brian Wolf. Bringing up the back. That Commander's car is cool. I like that dark brown with that gold.
East car down pit road. Let's see who's going to get that better start. Now we know we can't do that start area in the middle of the corner. It's at the end of pit road. So they still got a little ways to go.
Yeah, it's a long drive at Talladega to get to that line.
Yeah. Green flag's out. Looks like Robert's got a really, really good start on that one.
And Paglia didn't get a good
Oh
start.
no, we got cars around in the back stretch. In the back side section of it. The back cars got tangled up and spun out.
Yeah, Bond's down there, Seth's down there, looks like Sire is down there. We'll back that up and take a look at it.
They're going to do a restart.
If they want to re-rack
right
them.
now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with they re-rack it.
Well, why I knew that is because McCarthy.
Like we're gonna allow for
as soon as they
one
did that.
restart here.
Yeah, I got Brian Wolf on the whisper button, but apparently it doesn't work. But yeah, he just let me know that they are going to restart it here. So.
I have him on a whisper too.
Oh, okay, if you can let him know, I've heard him. I don't know why I save it, but then it doesn't save.
He heard you.
Cool. Can I still rewind that and see the accident? Or does that delete it?
It's deleted. Once they restart, it deletes it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh yeah, it goes back to happy hour. Okay. Thanks again, everybody watching this thing. Tarnation TV is going to start raking in millions of dollars. We're up to about 355 subscribers.
You might make a penny this month.
But they all watch because each video gets 100 to 200 hits, right? So we're not doing it for clicks, but
remember, a penny is worth a lot because they're not making them anymore. So
that's right.
You guys finally stopped making pennies. I heard that. We haven't made them up here in Canada in 15, 16 years. They stopped
the
doing
hate
that.
penny.
Like, no way, right? You got rid of the penny long time ago.
I got to take mine to the bank so I can get money for it before
Probably.
they really.
Probably make more money, melt them down to a ball, and then trade in for copper.
Well, that's my cousin said, but I don't know if
I got one of those little brown penny type styles that says a hat, like a pence or something, like 1 pence or half pence with a British logo on it. It's like, what in the world? They actually still work as pennies if you use them here. They actually still accept them.
Yeah, sometimes they go by weight or size. Sometimes they don't work, and then I've had quarters that won't cooperate. Most of the time they do. Vending machines are getting smarter. Dale Shalinski again, get to lead this thing again. We were talking about that huge start that Roberts got before they re-racked him here. Not always a good thing here at Talladega.
Nope. It wasn't too bad because he had McCarthy right behind him giving him a good push.
Mm-hmm.
But he better start for Jaslinski in the bottom. He's got Gary Heiser really giving him a good push on that bottom groove. They're getting them motors wound up in that top groove. They'll get together and they'll probably run them right down on the back stretch.
That Roberts paint scheme is so cool. I think the trick to a retro paint scheme is tons of Kintig advertisements. Mm-hmm. Because these old cars always had so many of those tiny little stickers. Like, you could make a whole car full of stickers and it would probably look fine. It would look vintage. Because you need to have, 450 little sponsors on your car.
I noticed that when I was racing over here, it seemed like the inside lane would get a really good jump to begin with, but it looks like this high side's starting to go pretty nicely, like real quickly right off the bat.
Third groove starting on the high side there. I'm trying to see who that is.
This is the Tampa
Bond.
Bay Buccaneers team that Perry Bond, I believe, is driving.
Harry Bond, yep. Bond.
It's Perry Bond, not Perry Bone, as Seth Cole says. And
Uh-oh.
Padley is in the wall.
Oh no!
Catastrophe. Shalinski looked like he may have warped a little bit.
Perry's doing a barrel roll back on the backstretch. And Seth is involved. The 88 machine is involved. A Dinger, I believe I think that's Dinger. ASR or DC, maybe?
Oh, DC's David Chin.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know.
David Chen, okay.
Yeah.
On Godfrey, I don't know if it was involved just as much as or whether he just.
The pole sitter has damage.
Oh yeah.
It looked like, I don't know, what something's up with
Oh, there's Dinger.
Paglia's car. It seems to be skipping a lot. Shalinski did drift off.
Yeah, but it was like a little bit of contact coming off of turn 2, which sent Paglia into the wall and bounced off the wall, and that's what started the whole mess. I'm not sure whether the car underneath Paglia got really tight and just pushed up or what.
Looks like Paglia has retired from the race, unfortunately.
The drivers coming into that just blind. The track was pretty much blocked. Nowhere to go.
Sounds like Perry's playing with his gears back here, so I don't know if he's lost a gear or not.
I just realized my flag state and my lap counter weren't working, so sorry for anybody watching the broadcast. Now you know what lap we're on. 3. And yellow flag conditions. These yellow flag conditions are brought to you in part by Budweiser. Enter coupon code CAUTION at checkout for a free 6-pack. Any takers? I'm going to say yes.
Obviously, you're going to have some diggers. They'll probably just top up the front on fuel a little bit, or stay on the lap, get a bonus point coming the next time or whatnot. But these guys back here with damage, they got to get that fixed.
Yeah.
Usually the front runners will stay out this early, and then most of them did. The guys at the back will always come in.
Who do you think got the worst end out of that? I mean, I know Padley retired, but with Perry, I don't know if Perry got the worst end with that warp wreck or whatnot after the contact with Padley bouncing off the wall like that. I don't know. I mean, Seth has rear end damage. The pole sitter has a lot of back end damage.
Just gonna say that Shalinski's got a lot big. The whole back end of it's stowed right into the middle.
Take a look at that one. Yeah, the hood's crippled up a little bit too on the number 1.
Tom Sire was in it. I don't think he's got too much damage just looking at his car. I mean, he may have some, but it's not showing up on our screen.
Yeah, his hood's not sitting straight anymore on the 1.
No. He hit the inside wall. Was that just like
Does the 96 Ulysses have any damage? Because I didn't know if he had a little bit of side damage on the machine.
Sorry, what was that? Ulysses?
Yeah, it looks like to me there's a little bit of damage on the side, but I don't know whether that's just the graphics or not on my end.
The Ulysses looks clean. I thought it looked like it too. Sometimes it's the way his paint schemes are too. Like I don't know, like not his, and just sometimes the paint schemes make them look different until you wrap around and then you just see that's just part of the design. He looks like he might be all right.
Again, he may have got some damage out of that. We just can't see that damage.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing too. Sometimes the game doesn't always translate it visually, right?
Depending on the mod. Some of the mods do, really get into it. Others don't. And this is one of the older mods out there, so it doesn't have all the damage that some of the newer ones do. Whoa!
Oh,
we're Sire around.
Yeah, and this mod, it's so good.
Yeah.
But yes, I've been rear-ended sometimes, and then the hood gets damaged. So if they hit you hard, anything can happen. I watch Sire go down the pits there.
I'm looking at the back end of Seth's machine. That's really, really banged up back there.
Yeah, Seth is definitely squashed.
Hey,
Well, let's see
Blaine,
if they
I got
can
a
fix
question
it.
for you.
Okay.
Do you think he got congealed with everybody else all lined up?
Yep. There's a word that we try to use every week. On the... Oh, they didn't fix it. I thought that something would have happened to the rear end of that car.
Maybe he'll go around one more time and try to fix it since the yellow lights are still on.
Maybe, yeah.
Could be an advantage if it was tight. It might be a little bit looser, but also could be like pulling a parachute and just not go through the wind very well.
Yeah, Seth on the Thursday broadcast said congeal. And I told him I haven't used that word in about 6 years. So then used it about 20 times after that.
And then I showed up last week for my phone and I'm like, congeal.
Yeah.
Zielinski got his car fixed, left pit road. It looks about the same, but when he left pit road, there was still some body panels on the pit road, so they took some parts off of it.
And a whole lot of that 200-mile-an-hour tape.
Oh, well, to the Barabon.
So right now it looks like Ken Roberts, McCarthy, and Denny Carroll are the top 3 at the moment. I don't know whether they all...
They didn't
Did
pit.
they pit or not? Did they pit?
Did not pit, nope. And 3 did not pit.
Yeah, I'm showing Randy, Carroll, McCarthy, and Roberts have not pit. Everybody else did. At least once.
And here they come now.
Just going to say, it looks like they're going to turn down. They're just trying to do, instead of pitting on the first time.
Yeah. That's what I was doing yesterday, too, because you just get as much distance as you can before the lights go out.
So, but you just get the fuel at the last minute.
Yeah.
Why is Seth staying out instead of fixing it? Is he worried that if he goes in, they're going to tell him to shut the car off and just retire?
Yeah, because you were saying he may have gotten service but skipped repairs and then come back around and get repairs. A lot of these guys are making super quick pit stops here. Yeah.
Just fuel only for everybody. So it's just more of a, want to make sure that they can go distance. Should it go to green flag pit stops next time, they want to be able to go a little bit further.
Mm-hmm.
Set up strategy kind of sort of towards the end. Not that they could make it, you know, one less pit stop or not. With that, we don't know right off without sitting down and doing the math. But, you know, you always try to plan ahead for that scenario, and that's what they're doing. They're just getting the fuel at the last minute.
Yeah.
I'm curious about something, guys. I don't know whether you have any information on it or not, but since I'm right here on Brian Ross, and any news about the where Chuck Taylor is tonight?
No, Brian was talking about that in the pre-race, how Chuck hasn't shown up the last couple of weeks, actually.
Oh. That was a good championship battle they were having last season.
Yeah.
It was. Unfortunately for Chuck, the last race he got caught up in a wreck that kind of knocked him out of the, you know, having the chance to do it, but he fought hard, never gave up.
Brian and his connection issues didn't seem to be having much of an issue, much luck either with that stuff.
No. Every once in a while, he has a race that he's everywhere.
I don't know what's up with my ticker.
Wide by himself.
I don't know what's up with the ticker, but it never seems to put Dinger's name up there. The 72 is blank, but the name is ASR Dinger.
We are about to go back to green on lap 7. We got Ed Finley and ASR DC88 on the front row at this point. So what are you thinking?
I think with David Chin up there and Brian Rolfe in the top, you get them guys will get a good shot off the line. Brian will give them a good push. They're not really organizing as much right now at the bottom, but that's just my thought. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, a lot of space there from Finley.
Green flag's out.
Back to Dinger.
Finley got a good start though, but
which is good because he can pick the lane now. Like you say, he's going to want that high line because he's got Roberts, Chin, and Roberts switched lanes.
Yeah, you got Seth behind Dinger now. Remember, Seth has some damage, but it doesn't. I don't know if that's going to end up having an issue with him coming in, like a little bit of a run here. Maybe it'll start having an effect on the machine. I don't know, but they are on moderate damage, right? So.
Yep.
Yes.
Seth will probably be okay as long as he's getting pushed by somebody and somebody in front of him. It might be just as soon as he gets out of that drafting situation, he might drop like a stone.
Is Brian Rawson out here warping a little bit on the corner again? It looked like it was a little warp on my end. They're putting stuff in the middle 3 wide. Uh-oh.
Rawson does tend to have a little bit of issues sometimes. And yeah, he looks like he's skirting around a little bit on my screen too.
Seth moved down there, just in a nice little hole down there, right behind McCarthy. I'm not sure which one of that is, whether it's Danny Carroll or Godfrey. Those 2 cars I don't have, both same color.
Godfrey's behind Seth Cole at the moment.
Okay.
Monitoring Seth's speed with all that rear end damage. He's hitting 194, 95 right here.
Dinger's falling back. This high side's gone. I don't think Dinger has any damage at all.
I know one thing. I do not like running the bottom of the road, but especially with these fixed setups. This setup, I practiced a little bit earlier. It wasn't so bad off of 2, but like I know Talladega Nights setup off of 2. I don't care for it's just a little too tight. It makes it hard to get off the corner.
See, for me, it's 4. But there's more space off 4 to slide up if you slide up. But yeah, I don't like coming off any corner actually.
It's funny, different drivers, different ways. I'm a short track guy. I do well at short tracks. I don't do well. Jessica, I mean, she's awesome on these super speedways, and there's no way I can compare to the way she races up here. She does so well at it.
But when's your next race, Jessica?
When I started, it was a lot different story. I was actually pretty decent everywhere except for road courses.
Yeah.
I love road courses, but I'm probably never going to win one. But I do love road courses. Like, I have a lot of fun. I don't get off the track.
Brian's around.
Awesome. Get a little airborne, but come on, don't.
Oh,
he had to hit the wall.
Yeah.
I did want to point out that during the conversation you guys were having, Seth did go to the bottom onto the apron, drop back. I saw the 3 and the 27 back there slowly trying to reel back in the group. Not sure whether any of them had any damage or just went up to a different lane or whatnot and fell back. I wasn't sure about what happened with that. But then, Brian Rawson got turned.
Yeah, it looks like the 3 got into him a little bit there. That Scary Heiser, just a bump that wasn't square enough, really.
Not hard to do here on the super speedways.
We commented on this on when we switched to Aero 88 over in RTG, that there was a lot of trying to figure out where the hitbox was and whatnot. So you try to line it up every once in a while. You think you got a perfect hit, and then it doesn't work out sometimes. And that's the difference of the mods. The Aero 88 mod, just a little bit touchy, but I mean it's really good. But still, like just a little bit touchy with that hitbox on it.
Hitbox on the modifieds are even worse. Yeah, the Aero 8 doesn't quite have the same as the Cup. Original Cup is the only one that's really, really good on that. See, David Chin's currently still up there in the 2nd spot, right behind Ken Roberts. Ed Finley in 3rd. Now we probably will see some pit stops, especially from the guns from Rawson and possibly Gary Heiser. I do believe that the penalty for causing an incident is a drive-through.
I'm not really sure how they look at that.
I remember now, we cover so many different leagues, sometimes it's hard to remember which one to do what and how.
I'm the same way when I race different leagues. I forget what the rule is sometimes.
Yep.
David Chin decides to stay out. He'll soak up a couple of bonus points there. Just 1, but he currently does not have a lap lead, so hey, 1 point.
So wait, this is technically what, race 2 now?
Yes.
First race they had technical difficulties. Brian Wolf was not here, not feeling well, and the track wouldn't load. So they ended out. Jeffrey Elliott was there, so he offered up his server. I had got a hold of Brian Wolf, and he just said, have him do a fun race. We'll get it, we'll just push back a week. So
we just saw Randy Waugh go off the pit road into the grass. I'm not sure what that was. Maybe he moved out of the
Yeah,
way,
he
or he got
Collected
pushed
Ed
out.
Finley with that too. I wonder if Ed will get a black flag for exiting unsafely because he wasn't able to actually stay on
I'm
the
wondering what
proper
they'll do
side of
with
that
Randy.
cone.
If Randy will get a black flag for exiting unsafe too.
Unsafe exit, though, is just an end the longest line penalty, so.
Oh, okay.
Or that's what it should be, just in the UL. But what I was getting at was at being the second race. I mean, we saw, how they were racing at the end of the season. Do you think they still keep that same mentality that every race is in their mind the championship race? You all go out, or would you rather just go out there and force yourself to win every single time, or would you rather just there and say, okay, top 5, I'm comfortable, I just got the points, I'm not going to try to force myself into doing something too risky that might be a ridiculous move to leave me out to dry or get me wrecked?
My side of it is I go out and race, let the points fall where they fall, and do the best that I can. Always, every racer goes out there with the idea that they want to win it, but it's not always capable of having that happen. So, but I'm always I never points race. I just go out and try to lead a lap if I can, race the best I can, points fall where they fall.
Some of these guys, like Grant Wesley is a good example. He's so good at just winning, like Rodney Sullins. Like some of these guys they know how to win. I mean, I can get close, but I could never recreate it. And it comes down to a lot of stuff, like those hot pitting under green flag pit stops and stuff like that. I just like having fun. I like that I can still log into my favorite game and, go out and race with 20 to 40 guys any day of the week.
You got these people, like you're saying, like Grant Wesley. You got, like, for example, Grant Wesley, Tim Knopfsker, Brian Schilling, Chuck McClure. These guys, Judge Spirito and whatnot, they're up there. Basically, you see them up front all the time. So you look at them, it's like, well, I'm sure that in their mind, they got to either win or finish top 5 or what, they got their goals. Me, on the other hand, toward the end of, like, the last two and a half, maybe 3 years I was racing, I decided that my goal was top 15, top 10. I could care less about winning. I just wanted to make sure I was still somewhat competitive and I was happy.
And it's sometimes like I'll make a move and then you just go backwards. That's a mistake. Like
that's because they don't like me.
I shouldn't have made that move, because I'm not good at leading the line, So
yeah, and they're like, they don't like me. They don't want me to win.
Yeah, it's like I'll get out on that high line and I have a real hard time keeping it below that one line. You got to be in a specific spot, and if you can't hold that line, they're going to bail on you. They're going to give you 2 corners, and they're going to be like, this guy can't hold that line through turn 1 and 2, and it's like, I just end up drifting up. I don't know why. It's just how I drive. Maybe I just can't get through the corner, but I mean, I'll stay in the pack all day long and do some pit strategy and do a bunch of clutching like I did yesterday to not have to make that last pit stop, and got to the end. And
I can't speak for Rod specifically, but for me, if I'm racing and I got someone in front of me and I'm following them, or the guy's behind me and he's drifting up more or drifting down a little bit more than what I like or what I can expect, I'll do whatever I can to drop back and get out of that, because it's like, I know I'm in an unsafe area, even though it's in the top 10 or top 5 or whatever. It's like, I like being up here, and you could be one of the best drivers. You could be really good and, win races and all, but if you're behind me and you're not holding the line that I'm comfortable with, or in front of me holding the line, I'm going to bail out and go somewhere. I don't care if it's to the back or to the front, somewhere else, in a different line. I just can't deal with it. I mean, not calling anyone out, but it's like, I'm not going to be responsible for the one being wrecked or wrecking the other individual.
Yeah.
I'm a better pusher than I am, being followed. But myself, what I a lot of times will do is, like the last race that I raced with you, Jessica. I'm looking ahead and I'm like, all right, who's leading this pack? And so Jessica's out there. All right, I'm going on that line. I stay in the top 2 grooves anyways. I really hate the bottom groove.
Yeah.
I don't like the bottom. I mean, you've seen me on this track here around the bottom. It's because there's an old thought process from other leagues that the bottom is the best way around BSR compared to Talladega, which always seemed to be middle high. I guess it changes depending on who you get in the line. And Rod, I really don't like pulling the group. I'd rather be behind someone pushing. But it's like I've said before, if I see someone not going and there's an opening and I keep having runs, I'm going to go for it. And whoever pushes me, pushes me. If we don't go anywhere, I can't say I didn't try.
Yep. So, lights are out on the pace car. Ken Roberts did not pit this time. I don't believe Denny Carroll did as well. He is in the outside. Randy Waugh, Ed Finley, John Godfrey, Shalinsky's back out there at the front. A little bit of probably pit strategy. David Chin. I think that is Garland. Yeah, Garland Oaks. And I was wrong. That was Brian Wolf up there. Not so. Ed Finley's and Brian Wolf's car look very similar from a distance.
Yep. And Roberts did not opt to swap lanes. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't.
Well, if he's probably hoping he can get a decent enough start on there that he can just pick the lane he wants to run in.
That's true too, yeah.
Lanes have got some pretty good people in them, so just who gets that better start, who gets behind who.
Going back to green on lap 15, so looking at the fuel, we're going to have to pit at least a few more times.
Back out green.
Yeah, I mean, if
oh,
they
look at
were
that.
to
The third
run,
lane's already wanting to go.
Oh,
yeah. If they were wanting, if they did...
Whoa! Contact right there with Garland Oaks.
If they did run the entire race green, they'd have to pit at least 3 times, right? Because it's 57 laps.
Yeah.
Well,
about 19 apiece.
57, not normal 66. So, but you'd be wanting to pit every, I guess, 18 to 19 laps, 20 pushing it. So, because it's CTS physics 2 times where.
Danny Carroll got a really good start on that, and I thought he was going to be in trouble, but Randy Waugh came right from the bottom, right up behind him. We know those two guys will try to find each other if possible, and they like to run with each other. They got that high line rolling pretty good. So I'm just going to say, I bet you they're going to pull right down in front of Ken Roberts, and as soon as Randy Waugh was clear, they did, leaving Brian Wolf up there hung out to dry. But he's got quite a few hungry drivers behind him that'll probably get in there and give him some good pushes. They might be able to get that high line back to the front.
It's so interesting.
Ken isn't going to stay there too long.
It's so interesting how, like, at the start of the race, we're running up on the wall. Now they're all migrating to the bottom. You know, like...
Ken Roberts did not want to be back there. He pulled out right in front of John Godfrey. They got it going. Ulysses Sandoval comes from the top to the bottom to push Randy Waugh.
Luigi. Like I said, I didn't expect Ken to stay down there too long. Ken is more of a leader, and he'll follow if he has to, if he thinks it's, worth at that point to do so. But I can't count how many times I've been in this series and I've seen Ken say, no, I'm not going to ride behind Greg Palmer or Jess or Roddy. I'm going to go. And I've seen, like, he just goes out there and just takes the lead and just rolls with it. So I kind of expected him to do that. But look at Godfrey there. He had a good finish the last race. So I think he finished 4th, I believe.
Out of those top runners there, Denny Carroll has a couple laps led, so does Roberts. Wolf, Randy Waugh, and Godfrey do not. That one bonus point.
Come down to the end of the season that could make a difference.
Yep. Because this
they
is always
don't
tight.
run traditional, how are the points? The actual legit point system or what?
Yeah,
no playoffs, but they're a little bit different, yeah.
It's a little different, but it's not. It's not the original, I think, 170 for winning, 175, 5 for leading the lap, and 5 for leading the most laps. It's different. I think it's like 40 to win, 38 for something per second. But it's the same idea, but it's just a straight points, no playoffs, no nothing.
Oh no.
Oh, big wreck. Ken
Roberts,
Godfrey, McCarthy, Ed Finley, Gary Heiser.
Everybody.
Wow. Big one. Brian
Everybody
Wolf.
but Denny Carroll. Denny Carroll was free and clear of that.
Ken. Holy moly.
Look at the barrel of Ed Finley going down. Ouch. And Ken Roberts on the side. Randy Waugh's involved in it. Jeez. That's a
Randy
big
Waugh
one.
might be stuck on the
Updraft
berm.
gone wrong. Big mess.
Yeah. That took out a lot of cars.
Oh, Ken Roberts flipping over and over and over him and 3 cars.
Okay. I see what happened here. I'm looking at the high side with Ken Roberts, Cree, Ed Finley, and McCarthy. It just looked like it was one of those accordion effect chain bumps. Like, you always get told, third or fourth car back, be careful of bumping the cars in front of you. Because when you bump them, they get a little boost, and then the guy in second or third bounces back, and then it has a little chain reaction bumping. And that's what I'm noticing happened here. You see McCarthy bump Ed, and then Ed gets Godfrey, Ken goes up, and just like a huge shove, and then it just places Ken out of line just so slightly. I don't think Ken was ready for that, and just turned him.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It was too late down the straightaway for that move, maybe.
David Chin drove right through that, so don't think he hit anybody.
On board with Ken Roberts right now.
Gotta watch Brian Rosson and David Chin go through that, because don't think they hit anything on their way through. So.
Cool.
So now, Denny Carroll is headed down pit road. Rosson's going to stay out and try to see if he can lead that lap.
Yeah, we're locked on to Chin here, and he drives right through this. Checked up a lot. Dumped about 60, 70, about 90 mile an hour, and was able to get through all of it.
How far did that line go back for that high side of where they were bumping each other? Because I only saw the McCarthy part of that. I didn't know how far back it went.
Rosson also made it through it. He didn't make it through it cleanly. He had to scrape the wall and whatnot, but he was lift, brake, gas, lift, brake, gas, and he actually made it through cleanly. Rosson stayed out, and he did lead that lap, so there's some bonus points for him.
That was a weird... I mean, I'm looking at the replay, and it looks like... I don't know how Ken lost control of that. It might have just been an internet thing.
Yeah, and as soon as they all started slowing down a little bit when the incident happened with Ken getting bumped out of line and out of shape a little bit by Godfrey, and it just seemed like everyone behind him, behind McCarthy on that high line, they didn't get the realization that just happened, so they had a harder time slowing down. So it was a good job to see Brian and, like you said, David Chen get through that just fine without wrecking.
Yeah, like Rod pointed out, Rosson was able to get through it. Kind of muscled his way through it. But Chin slid right through there without a scratch. That was pretty awesome. But he did go to the pits, so Chin is currently coming around here now to rejoin the pack.
Rossum's still the leader. Seth Cole, Bob Sire, Ed Finley, and then we have Denny Carroll, which was our leader, the first one to pit. So it'll be interesting to see. Looks like Rossum's probably going to make a trip down pit road. Seth Cole's coming with him. Nope, Seth Cole changes his mind.
Sire's
Bob Sire comes down. Ed Finley stays out.
Ulysses is down.
So the leader that came into that is going to come back out in third place, I believe.
Do you have Carroll's car, the 41? I don't have it.
I do not have it, no.
I think what Seth is thinking about is, because he's a little bit damaged off pace, and he has a hard time trying to get to the front, lead a lap, and get a bonus point right now.
Oh, absolutely. That makes perfect sense. That's a great opportunity for him to do that.
Yellow's still out, so he may come in the next time by.
And he's here every week, too, most of the time, so...
Yep.
Yeah,
he can definitely
he's
use
already
that.
announced to me that he is running full-time for points in this series, so...
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if I pop in to shake and bake a couple times, the leading a lap's not a huge deal for me. I don't want to step on anybody for their free points, but I would.
I still do it.
You still, it's hard not to do it because you're like, maybe I can get out and get those extra points, even though to me it's irrelevant, but it's always in there when you're racing. It's like, look,
It's a mindset.
I can go get it.
It's a mindset that you always, like I said, I don't points race, but I always try to lead a lap if you can. That's how you have to do it.
I don't points race, but I want to get the points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I mean by points race is you'll get some drivers at the latter part of the season, or even at the beginning part of the season. Well, I'm in third, and I'm this many points behind this guy, so I got to beat him by this much. And
Right.
you start trying to calculate it all out. I get done. Good race, guy.
Yeah.
I'll see you next week. Come back. That's it. Don't worry about it. Sometimes I've raced with leagues before. I didn't even know I was the points leader. Literally, I won a championship once. I didn't even know. Had no clue. We got down to the last 2 races of the season, and they started talking points and who this, that, and I'm like, so well, who's the points leader? And they went, what? I said, who's the points leader? You are. I'm like, what? I didn't know. Like I said, I don't worry about it.
That's funny. Looks like Seth is coming down this time. Lights will go
Sure.
off, so they're just taking it to the very end. Get that extra lap in there.
Danny Carroll will be
So
back
I
out.
do want to point out, if all goes straight forward after this, I would assume around lap 41 or 42 they would need to come back in the pit.
They're 2x pit, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
2x about you can
That's
go about
about
18
20
to
laps.
19 laps depending
Yeah.
on how you play your cars regarding how throttling, clutching, or whoever's in your line and whatnot. So if you're looking at lap 23 going back to green, from that point on about 40 to 42 roughly.
Yep.
Dennis McCarthy exiting the pit road, got it around. Luckily, we're under yellow, so we'll
Well,
lose
I
some
can't-
spots, but not that many.
I can't really see, so is there anything going on in the live chat right now, Blaine?
It's pretty quiet.
It is pretty
Yeah,
quiet.
Andy Wall was in there last. Pumpkin said something. Let's do this. We got Robert Springs said good luck all, and then Keith Martinez,
I'm clean, officers.
clean officers. So yeah, that's it. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet.
Somebody got arrested, I think. It's
Could be.
we're glad, Ken.
And we only got 2 likes, which it's nobody likes it, but it shows
I don't
on
like
mine
it.
screen we've got three watching right now, but have the other one that gives you a little bit more defined.
I don't like that. I can't see the 41. I don't know what I did wrong.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll just blame Denny. Maybe he did it wrong. Maybe he put a space in the file name.
Yep.
If you're gonna do space, don't do it.
I
Use
downloaded
underscore.
all the cars before the race, so
I've seen that though. Guys they'll put like a space in the file name and it won't.
Yep.
The game can't see it, right? Like if you have to use an underscore, or just don't use a space at all. Just write it all one word.
Brian had got a hold of me a little while back, and he said well, somebody had sent me a car, and they made a change. They resent the same car, and I downloaded it, and it's got this little parentheses 1, and I said that's the new one. I didn't understand how that worked.
Yeah, if you overload it,
Yeah.
it's the same. Yeah, it's the same file name twice. They'll put the 1 in
I do
brackets.
want to point out, I went back to get an idea of who all pitted right there. It looks like Dennis McCarthy actually got spun, or he's caught a gear high and just spun out. I can't really see because it's like blinking off and on, but still.
Yeah, that was
Green
weird when he
flags.
came out and gunned it and just went right around.
Green flag's back out. You got Denny Carroll on the bottom. He's got his buddy Randy Wall right behind him. You got
Ken
a great
Roberts
start.
from way back.
You may have too much damage.
Whoa!
Oh,
Already.
no! Wow. Saw Randy Wall around, and somebody head on into the fence.
Catastrophe. Uh-oh. The 72 is on his lid. It's Dinger.
Ah, that was a big wreck.
A couple of big wrecks. Yeah, we were just talking about how we haven't really had many yellows, and unfortunately the
Looks like
gremlins show
Brian
back
Wolf.
up.
It looks like the same thing. Someone touched the back end of the 29 machine, which got it everyone else around there on Brian Wolf's machine.
Yeah, David Chin and Brian Wolf locked on tight there into turn 1. Yeah, I don't know. Brian slowed down a little bit.
Did he use a shift?
I don't know. Maybe. Let's right on board with the 29 and see.
We're under caution. You want to grab him and see what happened?
Sure, if you want to.
Because when the contact happens, you hear like a rev.
Ryan Wolf, Rod Weston, Jessica, and Blaine up in the booth. We have a question for you, my friend. What happened there? You missed the shift, or?
I did. I was late on the. I was late moving to third gear.
Okay. Kind of looked like that might have been the case, and we were kind of wondering if that's what happened.
Yeah, exactly
No,
what
no,
happened.
it was a whole
It was
bunch
my
of
fault.
trash. It was trash talking between Washington and Pittsburgh. Don't worry.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There's the trash. I don't know what I was thinking with that, but yeah, that was just a bad move on the 29's part. Considering parking it after that mistake. It is a 2-in-park series. That's my one, but that's an incident.
We'll ask you that too. We were talking about that earlier. If you cause an incident, are you required to drive down pit road, take full service, whatever, or what's the penalty? Or
Yeah, if you claim an incident like I just did, I wait until second time by, pit full service, and speed off pit road to go to the back of the line.
okay. The one thing that we didn't do is think of the speed off pit road, because I knew it's race. We all race with so many different leagues and broadcast for different leagues, and all those little rules and regulations like that. Sometimes they're, a little different. So we were curious about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the easiest way we've kind of found to do it so far, but unfortunately, like tonight and myself included on that list, it can bite you sometimes, but it don't have to bite you that hard if you don't let it.
All right, well, we'll let you get back at, buddy. You got to get you served your penalty, get your butt back up near the front.
Yeah, this race is struggling a little bit, but I guess this will be a mulligan for quite a few drivers tonight, probably myself included.
All right, well, good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, well, at least we got to answer our question.
Yeah, it answered the you already thought you had the answer, and it looks like he confirmed it, but.
Yeah, it just seemed like it, because when I was on board listening, when I mentioned that, you hear right when David gets right at the back end of him, you hear it rev real quick for a moment. So I was wondering if he screwed up with the shifting or not.
Unfortunately, David Chin is retired from that. Also, ASR Dinger is retired from that. And I believe John Godfrey was involved in it as well. And we might as well keep going. Gary Heiser is done. Selinsky's done. Perry Bond is done, and the 28 of, is that
Paglia.
28 of Paglia, yeah.
Paglia,
So,
that's right.
all just retired from
retired.
accidents, actually. No mechanical failures, just accidents.
Yeah. And I see that I watched Ulysses Sandoval have a lot of trouble getting going on that one. Whether he must have had a flat tire or something that was just, he couldn't seem to get it to turn and go. So, sure, since then he's been gonna get down pit road a few times, probably get that thing fixed up, see if he can't still continue on.
Well, remember on that restart, like I said, Ken Roberts, real quickly, he dropped to the bottom of the apron and went way back. Now, he and Garland are on pit road along with Brian Wolf, naturally. So I'm just wondering if there's a lot of damage. Like, we saw Ken Roberts get damaged earlier.
Oh, yeah.
I know that. But I wonder how bad the damage is for him just to randomly drop out of the line like that. Because usually he doesn't do that unless it's really bad.
Yeah.
Because he was a contender to win this early on.
You can always find out the answers to those questions.
Ulysses and Garland coming off pit road here.
Under caution, I can grab Ken Roberts if you'd like.
That is Blaine and a you thing, not a me thing.
Do it.
And Roberts, you got Rod, Jessica, and Blaine up in the booth. We have a question from you.
Hey guys, what's happening?
Hard hit in that big wreck there. Looks like it's just a bump draft, kind of bad, gone bad. On that restart, we noticed you dropped down. Just kind of curious, how much damage do you have? Is the car pretty beat up, or are you just trying to struggle to keep going?
Yeah, it's pretty beat up. I realized I didn't have all the power, so I just tried to get out of those guys' way.
Okay, so we figured that might have been the case, so we'll let you get out there. I know it's going to be a struggle for you, but it's a long season. I'm pretty sure you'll come back next week stronger than ever. So give you a chance to get back out there and go. Good luck, bud.
All right, man. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ken.
Thanks, bye.
See that? Answered our questions. He's pretty good.
Yeah, you guys do that. FRN is very kind of sketchy to move people randomly in the middle of the race. So yeah, it's always weird, even during caution.
Well, we don't have brakes either, so we have to do something.
Well, I tried to do that with Seth, but Seth doesn't want to do that. So.
Well, there again, though, we've been into the FRN studio. The seats are better. The catering is better. I mean, Blaine has got a.
And that's actually a patented.
Let's put it this way: grammar is better. We can actually use the word congealed in a sentence.
Yeah.
We patented the in-car under caution interview, so nobody's actually allowed to do it.
That's it. Yeah.
We will sue you.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the other thing is where we have to do Tuesday nights, me getting the names right. Oh, some of those guys have got some weird names.
Did you see that move right there at the front?
This right here, if my calculations are right, we're looking at 40, anywhere between 45 to 47 for the next pit stop if they go green from here on out.
So I just was watching. Denny Carroll's leading the race in the 41, and he slammed the brakes on at the last second, so the 21 would shoot ahead of him at the start-finish line and because Randy didn't have any laps left.
That's a cheeky way, but it's not illegal.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm telling you right now, just like in our karting that we do, this year they've decided, other than my division, that they're going to run the same fuel. Everybody has to run the same fuel because people were doing some funny things.
What do you mean same fuel? Like same tank, or are you talking about the actual liquid itself?
You got to buy this fuel, you have to run this fuel, and they will be testing it. So the reason being is people are putting additives in they found out about it. But
of course.
You can't do anything about it if it ain't your rules.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's no rule says that he can't let him go by. I told you, I always say this, Seth tried to steal it. He didn't say it right. But you know why they put grass on the infield? Because if it was asphalt, we try to use it.
We would drive on it. Yeah, and that's the thing. He checked up and let Randy lead the lap because Randy didn't have any laps led, where Denny Carroll's being billed at 9 laps led tonight, so he doesn't need the extra points. So he was able to help Randy out there and give him a little bonus point.
The other question, too, is we get the pace cars headed down pit road. Was Denny Carroll here last week? It's another thing. Denny Carroll has not always run the full season, so he might be just helping out his buddy, because usually Randy was here every week.
Just checking
Be
the
interesting
points.
to see whether Randy holds off a little bit, lets Denny get a better run.
Yeah, Denny was not here last week. I just checked the points with one run race, and he's not on the table. So
it'll be interesting to see how they do it. Sometimes we've seen him do this before, where they'll get a good run. Yep, just like that. But Randy Waugh pulled back just a little bit, so allowed Denny Carroll to come up in front of him, and then let him get behind him. So they always kind of work together like that. They should have a better run once they get down to the end of the straightaway, because the bottom groove right now has only got 2 cars, the third groove car back there, but he's helping himself move up there, but he's not helping the 2 cars in front of him at all.
and that'll help everybody in that line, like McCarthy and Finley and Seth. Rawson just moved up there. We saw, they're all bailing on that low line. They're going to drive right by these guys.
Once you get going, if you see they'll get clear, Randy Waugh and Carroll may go to the bottom if the momentum builds up down there. Right now it's on the high side, they're going to stay there. Should, let's say a few of the drivers back there drop to the bottom, they'll go right down to that bottom. They'll keep that, wherever the momentum's coming, they'll make sure that they're right in front of it.
Finley right up to the wall there. Might just be dropping to the back. Brian Wolf and Bob Sire back there.
I'm around with Brian Wolf, and honestly, I just saw something that makes me realize how much I really didn't like racing on these plate tracks. When you're the only one, or you're at the tail end of a line or whatnot on one lane, you just drop back. There's nothing there for you.
Especially if you got some damage.
Yeah, that's detrimental, definitely.
Yeah, that was my thing yesterday because I took a little bit of damage. I knew I needed cars behind me because if I got on the end of that line, I was going to lose the pack.
Why is this the 44 of Seth Cole up here? No, this doesn't work. Something's wrong. Rod, adjust your TV set.
K-pop demon hunter, you know.
Nice push from Ulysses Sandoval onto Garland Oaks to walk right by the 41 there. Seth left behind Ulysses.
Well, remember, these guys are affiliated teammates, Garland, Ulysses, and of course Seth is going to work with these guys too because of Ulysses and Seth's little fun group team-wise. And so kind of have a feeling these guys definitely hook up.
Oh, yeah. Wrecking ball out front.
Yep.
Although we had to give them a hard time because the last time they all run Toyotas, now they're out there in a Pontiac and one of them was in a Thunderbird. So that's a little bit different.
So you're going to give them a hard time depending on what happens at the end of this race?
What?
You're going to give them more of a hard time depending on what happens at the end of this race?
Oh, yeah. Always do.
Randy Waugh and Denny Carroll to the bottom. I'm wondering where Rawson's going to go. I would expect Rawson to work with either McCarthy or Randy and Denny based on past, affiliations with RTG Group. It's always like you want to race with people who, you've gotten used to with the drafting. If you run with this guy for a long time, you can get to the front and you're very comfortable with drafting with him. Yeah, you're going to race with them and you're going to work with them, right? So now the question is with everybody else, these are different. Whoa, hello, that was almost contact with Randy Wall and Brian. But it's like when you got different people, you got like you said earlier, I know it's not here anymore, but you got Dinger, you had David Chen, you've got Garland, you got different random people racing and learning how to work within everyone else's parameter. Like, okay, you like to go low, I like to go high. I need to learn how to adjust my line to work with your line. I see that this is more of a learning opportunity early on in the season.
Yeah, you'll get guys like you said, like Randy Waugh and Denny Carroll will always get together. The Team Wrecking Ball will always get together. A lot of the guys from RTG will get together. Even the ASR guys do. So you're right. You want to try to get to that driver that you are comfortable racing with. Yeah, Dennis McCarthy looking at the high side. He's got Denny Carroll right behind him, pushing Brian Rawson. I don't know. We've seen Randy Waugh have a little bit of damage earlier. That might be hurting him, being it's bound to, like you said before, with that single car line. He's the last one. He might be struggling and just trying to keep hanging on to the end of that. Sorry, I need to drink something. Hold on. Start talking like that. I know my mouth's getting dry.
Yeah, if Seth can stay there with all that rear end damage, that's a good spot for him.
Absolutely.
Right in line there.
The big test would be is if he tries to pull out and, got somebody behind him, that rear end damage may not hurt him as long as he's got somebody right there behind him. But you never know. It could create a big parachute effect as soon as he pulls out. So he's probably smarter right now, currently running in the third position. That's a great points net for him,
That's a good pocket. Stay in that pocket. That's what I would do. I would just stay in the pocket. With the damage like that, you're not going to take the same risks you would if you had a crisp car.
Yep.
Yeah, just go for what you got, because honestly, like you said, you don't know what's going to happen when you pull out. Yeah, you may have the parachute issue. And maybe some of these guys would go with you and work with you to try to push you, but at the same time, you may not have the power to pull as well as just stay in line like he is. And we're coming up on Ken Roberts lapping the 55 machine now.
This will put Ken 2 laps down. Garland Oaks leading some laps. He's got 5 coming up right here. 5 laps led. Awesome
Looks
run
like
by
Brian
Garland.
decided to get behind Randy and see what he can do. I'm assuming that he's back there to try to see what he can do with Randy, unless he's having an issue, which I don't think he should.
It could be too. Randy might have just lost the draft a little bit and, struggled. And so Brosnan might have come back there, try to push him back up in there, which it seems to have worked. Try to get some more of those Chevrolets out there. You got 4 Chevrolets back there, the Monte Carlos. They want to try to, get together and try to beat that. I'd like to say Toyotas, but, you got a Ford, you got a Pontiac, and I am not really sure what Seth Cole is supposed to be driving. I think that's like a Chevelle or something, but...
Yeah, okay, so this is going to be fun. It's going to be a Chevy Camry, put it that way.
Okay, there we go.
We got, I'm sitting there looking around the track, we saw Ken Roberts, you got it, only still running. Ryan Wolf in the 29 and 27. The Detroit Lions and the Pittsburgh Steelers are still working together here in 9th and 8th. They're quite a ways back. They're starting to reel in slowly of Ken Roberts' machine, but they're still out there. I mean, yeah, you may not be able to win it, but points matter.
Oh, especially if you're points racing, a lot of the guys will just keep going. You can't stop. Let's say this pack of 7 cars has a big wreck, and maybe 3 of cars are done and totaled out for the night. There's some more points for you, so you just keep going as much as you can.
Robert Spring not racing this evening. He says in the YouTube chat that his sister is kicking his butt right now in poker. He should have stuck to racing.
Well, he sent me a message yesterday. He said that he had beat her yesterday, so he's probably just get back to the even spot. I don't know.
Oh yeah, don't do that. Just keep winning.
If it makes you feel better, I found out how to play Phase 10 recently, and I got my butt whooped. So yeah, I think that was something that I realized that type of game is not for me.
Yeah. I lose in solitaire, so
Yeah, I don't play cards, so
I play poker, but that's about my limit.
So here's what I'm looking at here. You've got Seth behind these 2, right? Now, will Ulysses think about trying to make a move and lead up? Because I don't think the 96 has been up front at all tonight.
We can find that out.
no, he has not. He has not led a lap.
Why do you do this? You're going to cause him to wreck.
Yeah, he has not. He has not led a lap.
Okay.
So I'm wondering, because you're saying the Oaks and Sandoval are teammates. I wonder if Oaks has a chance to switch spots if he'll let Ulysses lead one.
Yeah.
That's McCarthy's.
As we start talking about that, McCarthy on that inside line has
All those-
Danny coming.
All those Chevy Monte Carlo SSs down at the bottom line. We knew they'd probably try to get together. But now, there again, as Jessica said, we are creeping up on pit stops here, probably in the next 3 laps or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 laps. Now Seth Cole. Now you see how he was at the back of that. There's no one pushing. Now he's just going to drop all the way back. So
Yep.
he's got to hope for something to happen here.
Yeah, he might lose the draft with that damage.
They're
Maybe not.
coming up on who?
That right there is Finley. Yep. Finley running all by his lonesome. Move or be stung on the front bumper of that thing.
The one thing I did like about this mod, this track, and the setup that they actually provided on this was that whenever I was in the middle, I could get a huge run, and I could actually start making some passes on the high side by myself for a little bit before, catch up with me. But yeah.
Carroll got into the back of McCarthy just
a little bit.
right in almost kind of the beginning of the trial of what a save. You don't realize it didn't look like much, but in that car, that's one that'll get your attention in a hurry.
Yeah, Denny Carroll is a very fierce competitor, and if he's behind you, his plan is to, hey, I'm going to push you and I'm going to help work with you here, but you got to stay in line for me to do that for you.
Yep.
See right there, Denny's a little bit lower, trying to get more of a suck up off of the 024, which is something that I enjoy doing. Like, if someone's a little bit higher up, even a half lane higher, I go a little bit lower to get more of a run. But you can't do that at a specific point in that corner, otherwise you're going to get too much of a run, and you're not going to be able to let off in time with the guy behind you bumping you.
Yeah, because he's running a middle, kind of in the middle of 2 lanes there.
We just started lap 41, around the point where Jessica says that we figured that they'll start pitting, so we have to keep track of that because they might be pitting soon.
And this pit stop will get them to the end of this race.
No. I said because they pit last time on 27 or what was it, 26. It's going to be a little bit longer now. It's going to be 40. What was it? What did I say? 46 or 47?
Okay. I just remembered you saying something about 41, so I figured that's getting close to the point. Yeah.
That was the original one I said at the beginning before that extra caution. Yeah, they're going about lap 46, between 45 and 47 for this one.
Yeah, they are in the window. They could go any time and make it to the end.
Like earlier there again, you want to make sure you're doing it with people that you trust.
Yeah.
And get in and out of pit road quick.
There's a lot of plans going on. You see these guys
you
running
really
together
want to
all
make sure
night.
you have the help too and position yourself coming in.
They'll have different groups of people on different whisper buttons. They're talking to the group channel. They're talking to the public channel. Like, it's all strategy and secrets.
So they should be running close in about, like I said, about like maybe 2.5 laps to start pitting, unless they go ahead and pit early, like you said about being in the window, 18 to 19 laps. Good for the end of this race. So
Brian Rosson back there is trying to figure out which line to
what
take.
lane he wants, yeah.
Which one's gonna go, and not really going. They're just side by side all the way around the track, pretty much.
Seth Cole is staying with these guys. He's rolling with them. With all that damage, he's able to keep up. So that's good news.
I think he'd be all right until like we said before, if he tried to pull out and go, I think it would not. He's gotta stay where he is and try to use the cars in front of him to get him up as far as he can go.
Well, honestly, I respect the fact that Seth is trying to stick with the group and his teammates and his buddies and whatnot and work with them, but there's got to be a point where you got to say, hey, look, pits are coming up. I need to get ready and position myself and get the best finish I can possibly get, because if you're stuck out there and they're all coming in and that group stays out and you're like, okay, I got to pit. I needed to pit. I don't know what I'm going to do here. And, you know, you just lose it because he's at the back of this line. If he had like a couple cars behind him, he'd be a lot safer. I was kind of expecting him to dart down in between Randy and Brian, but he didn't do that. That way he'd actually have someone behind him.
Starting to lap Ken Roberts again for putting the third lap down.
Fourth time, yeah.
And then, you know, everybody's friends out there. They're all good buddies until it gets to be 2 laps to go. And you sometimes lose your friends and everybody gets a little more greedy.
There goes
Here we
Randy.
go.
There we go. There we go.
Well, Seth is coming in with these guys.
So you
Yep,
a little
flawless.
earlier than me. Probably just be a fuel-only stop.
Yep. Well,
Imagine.
you can take right sides or left sides. It's not going to really be too much of an issue. If I were going to take tires at all, it'd be left sides at this point. But
Depends too on how many, you know, cans of gas they got to put in.
well, you have more of a chance of having an issue if you take right sides than you do left sides, with the way the game seems to have been favored for me personally.
Well, Denny Carroll took right side tires.
All right, Seth is ahead of Randy.
So Denny Carroll was, you know, McCarthy and Rosson didn't took just fuel only. Denny Carroll was the first one to take tires.
Whoa! Ulysses
Oops,
almost lost
and
it. His side
Ulysses, yeah.
was coming in.
Ken staying out.
I saw Ulysses come in, his back end kicked out. He was trying to get that thing woed down there. So now the leaders are petting. Now, here's what I was noticing though. Like I said, Seth was able to get out ahead of Randy. So those two will probably hook up at one point. Denny was basically all by himself at that point out. Now the question is, what's the plan here between Brian and McCarthy? Are they just going to work together to the end of this? Or do you think that they want to kind of hang back just a little bit and try to get Denny to work with them, or what? That way they have more of a safe net?
I think the first thing you're going to find out, it depends on where Garland Oaks and Ulysses Sandoval come out in the mix.
Well, they just passed Garland, and Sandoval's all by himself up here.
Okay, so that just saying, you know, that makes a difference too, is where they all come out. But looks like Garland Oaks is going to be right in front of Denny Carroll, and it looks like Ulysses Sandoval got a really good pit stop and came out behind.
Well,
Rosson.
Brian, Rosson, and McCarthy were on the track when Ulysses was coming out. So,
Hey,
what?
I got a question. Is it just me, or is Seth Cole running in third gear?
He might run for a little
How,
while.
how high-pitched it sounds.
Might be for a little while, but I don't think he'd run it for too long. What I was owned about is Denny Carroll got caught up to Garland Oaks, and he got a little bit aggressive and got him a little sideways in the corner, and Garland Oaks drove through it and just kept right on going.
so we are now official through that. We got McCarthy, Rosson, and Sandoval, your top three right here. So this is interesting because we've got 10 laps, and the Garland Oaks Denny Carroll pack There's only a 2-car pack.
Okay, I got a question. With McCarthy and Brian, they always try to show up to race this series. What about Ulysses? Is he a permanent or is he a part-time?
I think he's a more semi-permanent, you know what I mean? I don't know if he races all of them. There again, a lot of these guys, some of them already had places that they were racing on Sundays, and then they decided to come here. So, some were going back and forth. I think you'll see, if he comes over here and is having a good time and enjoying himself, he may be here more often.
See, this is why I'm asking, because of him trying to run down here on the bottom, I'm trying to think about, is he going to be a sitting duck or not? Is he going to be able to make moves to actually get to the lead and stay in the lead, play defensive and whatnot? Because that
was a power move.
Wow.
That was a power move. He went to the bottom.
How did he make that happen?
He must have let him go.
That's weird.
I was, you think about that. If he starts making them getting them guys too wide like that, that can bring Denny Carroll and Garland Oaks back into the picture. Then, about like Jessica was saying, is he a normal here or whatever?
How's he driving away from them right now? Are they saving gas? They don't need to save gas.
That was weird.
They put on lap 44, didn't they? Not 45. They put on 44.
Right. I believe that was correct to 43.
They can't be conserving because they got tons.
Unless they just took what they thought they needed.
Oh, yeah. See, for me, I would just take full service, jam it all in there and go.
Right.
Yeah, if they were trying to get a faster exit.
If they jammed it full at 44, then they can go to lap 62.
Right.
And obviously we got 57 laps.
So you think they might have maybe got like a can and a half or maybe just one can and maybe they're trying to save? I don't think so. That can't be.
Well, what it is you look at the 57 to 44 scenario, that's 13 laps. You'd have to put a can and a half to make it to the end right there, because honestly, a can will get you 10 laps.
Okay.
Right, can and a
I
half
guess
usually gets you about
down,
14 to 15 for a can and a half, and obviously a full tank gets you anywhere between about 19, roughly around that mark, depending on how long you're running, with who you're running, and the scenario of leading, pulling, drafting, etc.
Right.
So they probably took a can and a half, because obviously a can, they would really have to be backing up a lot to try to save.
Ross was losing the draft on the 024. It's just a lot of space between these guys.
Garland Oaks and Denny Carroll have made up almost a second. Just with 6 laps to go.
I do want to point out Denny is on a mission, and the reason why I say that is because right back there in turn 3 and 4, riding on board with Garland, I could see Denny physically actually just bump Garland. Got to Garland, just went ahead and bumped him a little bit in the corners. I know a lot of people look shameful of that, but when you're back here trying to catch up to the lead group, sometimes that's what you got to do, as long as you trust each other to do it.
Your race leader currently is Ulysses Sandoval. He's got quite the gap back to second.
They're coming. They're cutting down that lead.
Yeah, it went down from 3.8 to 3.2. It just went down to 2.6.
We're going to be there by the end of it. It could be like by the pretty soon. The last lap, you're going to have bunch more cars, or a couple more cars.
That's what I was saying. You got Ulysses and Garland. What I was talking about with Brian and McCarthy backing off, trying to let Denny catch them, is it creates a little bit of a safety policy, because you've seen Denny work with Brian and McCarthy. Now Garland will only have Ulysses. That's 2 versus 3. You get
close to the gap.
Yes.
1.7.
You watch Ulysses Sandoval.
He's almost
weird
too.
Through the trial, it's almost like he's trying to break the draft.
That's what I'm thinking, because he's running up near the wall.
Yeah, and then he cuts down across into the bottom.
And that's allowing the 2 cars to catch the 3 cars. If these 3 cars were nose to tail and didn't move, those two guys would have never even got close.
Yep.
Give him one more.
Look
give
at
him
see,
one more
what's
lap.
the Sandoval? He is. I don't know what it's almost like he's trying to get them other cars behind him up here.
He knows he's got Garland back there, and Garland's his teammate. So,
but like Jessica said, what happens when Denny gets up there and let's say that the Chevrolets all decide to get together?
that's the problem. You put two more cars into this mix. I think Ulysses, if he just ran a straight line up the middle with those two guys behind him, it's so much easier to just keep your eye on two cars. On that
Ulysses
final
has
lap.
to block like crazy now, and this is not
Now
gonna.
he does, yeah.
This is not going to end well.
It would be a lot easier for him to just run. I would think to run that straight line, let those two guys just pull away from
Ulysses
everybody,
is
and
going
then
up there where Garland is, like I was saying, but he doesn't realize that, hey, look, there's 3 people now, and now they can start playing around, and they will actually go full throttle, and Ulysses has to play a lot of defense, and if not him, Garland.
That's right.
I'm surprised that Ulysses did that.
now he's going to get
Carthy goes
railroaded.
up to the
Is
high side.
Garland going to come down in front of Ulysses is what I'm wondering. No? Stay in the line.
That's so strange. It would have been a lot easier to block 2 people.
Yeah. I kind of expected Garland to work with Ulysses there. I don't know exactly what the deal is, or unless
Yeah.
Ulysses is trying to fall back to be a safety net here. Don't know.
What was...
Got what? Coming to 2 to go.
That was just a little weird how Ulysses just powered by them. So weird strategy going on here.
I don't know if he's actually going to get that chance again. I
don't know where he got the power.
I mean, like I said, I was able to do that on the high side a couple of times before that line caught right back up to me, but I was wondering if they were just letting Ulysses go and not to worry about him because it wasn't the end of the race.
I think they would have had to let him go. I can't see one guy being able to pass 2 guys that easy on a super speedway.
Yeah, there he is on the high side. No help.
Now the question is, Denny Carroll going to be content with sitting there in second place, or
No.
he going to push out there?
I
knew
have
the
a
answer to
feeling
that.
Denny will go for it. If he sees the opportunity, he will probably try to go for it and make sure he's got the points in case he does come back full time. I think is he full time?
Not yet. We don't know if he's going to stay full time, but if he
What
is in the
time?
top 3, we'll find out.
But Denny,
Blaine
if he
Rod?
starts a race, he's going to want to win it.
Oh yeah.
Blaine Rod, this is a white flag here, and you got 3 cars up there that are about to be caught by these guys.
Whoa.
Oof.
That
41's
was
got to
crazy.
look. 24.
All the Chevrolets got together.
Yep. Ulysses might get to the bumper of the 67 and be able to give him a shove.
You got to run.
Oh boy.
Here he
Oh,
goes.
this might be perfect time for a
He's
bump.
gonna cut him off.
Bump, bump, bump.
jeez.
Oh, no.
Oh, you
They
listen.
couldn't
Why'd you do
square
that?
up.
Wow, that was close.
Yeah. Garland got a little out of shape there and wasn't able to... It wasn't going to be a square hit, so Ulysses did the right thing and pulled out. That would have been bad. I think if he completed that bump, that would have probably spun them both out.
Hey,
That was a great
Blaine,
run, man.
Blaine,
Yes.
Rod,
Yeah.
I appreciate you letting me sit in on this. And
That was a lot of fun.
now this is post-race interviews, and I don't want to tread on that line too much.
Why not?
So I'll let you
Stay right here. Stay right here. Have some fun.
Why? Seth isn't here. I can't kick him. Why did he move? Why? I was expecting Ulysses and Garland to close that up, but he didn't. Jeez.
So, Brian Wolf is going to come across, and let's see, 8th position, I believe it is. Yep, Bob Sire and then Ed Finley. They were still racing it out back there, way in the back.
That's one thing I will say about Seth and myself and a couple of other people I race with. when we know that we're out of contention, we're not going to win or anything, we end up getting together back there. It could be for in the middle of the pack. It could be at the for the last position. And we could just goof around and play and just enjoy being around each other. And it looks like that's what they end up doing, just having fun running around each other.
That's you're probably right. Yeah, they were. You know what? They set up a great finish for the broadcast. Is what they did. They got us talking about it. That's for sure.
Well, Ulysses Sandoval. You got Rod, Blaine, and Jessica up in the booth. You got the copy, buddy.
Yes, you're back.
Yes, we're back. Hey, so third place. What a power move there at the end of that one to take the lead, passing 2 cars. We kind of think they might have let you do that, but it could have been that that NOS bottle you had hidden in the roll cage. But tell us a little bit more about your night.
Well, the reason why I was able to keep up with their draft is because I had pitted. I was able to gain some seconds, to compensate that slow pit stop I had because I took more fuel than them. So when we exited out of pits, I had the draft, but I saw that they were saving, and I didn't want the cars behind us to catch up with us. I tried to get up front to see if I can do something, but as soon as I noticed that they were saving gas, I was like, well, I'm not gonna let them save gas then, because I'm gonna break their draft, not let them go fast and save gas at the same time, then to make a move on me. But at the end, it didn't work out. Well, it did work out because I made it to third with another move, but yeah, I wasn't in the same page as them, so it was difficult to make some moves when you are different on view.
Yeah. Now, are you planning on running over here the whole series?
Well, last race I had like an 8th or 10th place finish, so this is gonna help me bust some points up. I'm gonna go for the championship if I get the chance.
Very good. That was kind of what we wanted to know, because I know Denny Carroll wasn't here last week, but you were, so we're just kind of curious. I know you've raced just about everywhere we go. We see you racing all over the place, so kind of curious, like I said, to see if you're going to try to come here and steal a championship away. We know you've gotten at least one in the trucks under your belt.
Yes, looking for another championship. It has been a while since I won one, so whatever gives me the chance to, well then.
You're racing up, so your opportunities are there to all over the place. If you're there, you always got a chance to win it. So you run well here, especially on the super speedways. So I'm glad to see that you're going to try to come over here and see if we can't get another championship in your belt.
Oh yeah, I like racing on super speedways. All leagues race super speedways differently. Like here tonight, it was more like a pure strategy instead of the typical pushing people up. So it was really interesting and entertaining to do. So I'm expecting more next week.
See, I'm looking for one that'll give me we race Martinsville every week, and then I'd be happy. All right, you man. Well, I mean, it was a great race for you. You did really, really good out there tonight. Let's see if we can figure out. See, how many laps did you lead tonight? You led 8 laps tonight, so that's pretty good. Give you the chance. What's that, bud?
Oh yeah, the laps. The reason I made the move is because I also wanted to lead laps, because so far in the race I haven't led a lap. So I was like, I knew that I wasn't gonna win the race because I didn't have I wasn't in the same page as them. So at least I can get something out of this, lead some laps.
Blaine, you want to add something?
No, it was a great race. We didn't know what to think about how that all kind of played out. I thought that if you stayed with those guys in the middle, it'd have been a lot easier to just pull away from those 2 guys that were catching you with Garland. But once they caught you, it ended up being an awesome finish. So. Yeah,
I also didn't want to block Garland because his teammate and me blocking him was gonna affect him. I was gonna slow him down, and now that he has the chance to win the race, I was like, go ahead, go win, go ahead and win another one, because he won the race 0. Remember?
See, yes, he did. It looked like you had a run to be able to give him a push coming out of that tri-oval, but you just couldn't get squared up enough, and I see that you had to kind of pull back, otherwise you would have spun him out. But I think if he could have settled his car down a bit, you were ready to give him a pretty good hit, eh?
Yeah, I was gonna push him, but he tried to. I don't really. Well, I thought he was gonna be in the bottom, so I was gonna push him, pointing at the bottom lane. But then he went high, and I was about to hit him. So if I went high, I was gonna pull a Ryan Vickers, and break him and Denny. So man, it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it was too. Yeah, like you said, it was a missed opportunity, but a good call. It could have been it could have caused a big accident, maybe too, right?
Oh yeah, I wanted to avoid an accident because so many people have been taken out so far on accidents, me included.
Yeah. Well, that's great, dude.
Yeah, overall, it was a good race, very intense. I'm still a little shaky about that finish, and I hope to get some more next week.
Jessica, do you have a question you'd like to ask Ulysses?
Yeah, I got one that I'm thinking of. When you chose with Garland to stay out that extra lap when the other group pit, why did you stay out that extra lap? Why didn't you come in with them?
Yeah, it was miscommunication between Seth, Garland, and I, because I told them to go with the group, but Garland was like, I'm in the outside lane, I can't do that, I'm gonna stay another lap. And I was fine with it. I mean, we can all be in the outside lane, but I think he thought somebody was gonna stay out, and if he tried to go to from the outside lane, he was gonna get wrecked. So I decided to not bid with him, so to keep some draft with him. And I thought Seth was gonna do the same, but it turns out he bidded with them. So yeah, we kind of didn't have any choice there. We thought we could have stayed single file like always, and then when we bidded, we all was gonna stay single file. But turns out the other guys choose when to bid instead of us, the leader. And they were the majority, so I was gonna follow them, but we were stuck in the outside lane.
Yeah, I mean, we did see Seth work with you and Garland quite a bit. So when Seth decided to come in and you guys stayed out, and that was kind of questionable because I thought Seth was with you guys to the end of that.
Yeah, I was questioning that decision too of not bidding with the group, but I gotta say, just push me. We can still keep up. So that's what I tried to do. I tried to hot bid just to be able to keep up with one of them. As soon as but then I saw Garland pulling behind, and I felt like it wasn't a great idea. I never thought it was a great idea, but it is what it is right now. So I guess we can learn from this and make a better choices next week.
All right, buddy. Well, I'm going to give you the opportunity to thank the people that got you there. The floor is yours.
All right, a big shout out to my team Wrecking Ball, with Garland Oaks tonight and Seth Cole. We all worked together, and we all got a good finish. Garland had another podium finish, because on race 0 he won the race, and now he finished second. So good for him. He's a great teammate, an aggressive super speedway driver, and wish him the best. So, yep, good luck, everybody, and see you next week.
Yeah, and so the other thing, too, I'm just going to throw in there, Garland Oaks is in a Ford Thunderbird, you're in a Pontiac. You guys are going to get together and make Team Wrecking Ball cars. Even it may not be a Toyota, you got to do something so they're all the same there, bud.
Yeah, I keep asking Garland to see if he wants to switch to Pontiac, but I think he has his own reason to drive his car. So yeah, every one of us have their own manufacturer. Mike Mangiolotti has Ford, and Mike has Ford. Pat McCarsky has Dodge, I think. So yeah, we're all over the place.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on your third place finish. I'm looking forward to seeing you come here next week and hopefully get that W.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. See you later, Blaine, Rod. Yes.
Thanks, Ulysses.
Bye.
Have a good one, bud. All right. So the second place finisher, you got Jessica, Rod, and Blaine up in the booth. Garland Oaks, do we got a copy, bud?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Yes, you do.
So, you know, you had a decent race, ran around out there for the most part up front. We had discussion with Ulysses about how you guys kind of missed the pit stop. You went out there. You didn't have a great pit stop. Ulysses came right out behind Ross on that one. You did not get a good one, unfortunately, but fortunately for you, you got Danny Carroll out there who didn't have a very good pit stop as well. You guys were able to charge your way up to the front. Unfortunately, you know, you didn't win it, but boy, you know, that was a wonderful few last laps watching you guys just dice and go, and you know, just it was an incredible race. So coming out into the second position, tell us a little bit more about your night.
Well, started off kind of rough. I got bumped out of line several times, ended up at the back of the field, but yeah, that last pit stop, I missed my mark a little bit going into pits, and Ulysses jumped out on me, and he caught up to the two guys. It took half a tank. Me and Denny weren't too worried about that. We knew that they only took a half a tank. It was no other way for them to be able to get out the time that they did. So I just told him, I said, tuck in, because they're going to have to start slowing down. And when they slow down, they're going to slow Ulysses down, and we can catch all of them and just drive past them. And, you know, we ended up catching them with like 4 to go there, and was able to go on past them because they knew they were going to run out of gas and they couldn't run full throttle. So it ended up being a good night. I wished I could have got the win, but, you know, either way, you know, Virginia driver won tonight. So
there you go. So now, are you going to run the complete season?
Little dicey, but, you know, so far so good. I don't see any reason why I couldn't, but I may be missing some along the month of December. You know, family unfortunately is in Bristol, and it's hard to get the family and back by the time race time is, or so, and be able to get sit down on Sunday night. So we'll see how everything goes, and you know how many races we might need to miss there. But yeah, right now the plans are to come on back and race a couple more races, see how it goes.
Oh, that's cool. That'd be good to see. Now the next thing is we give Ulysses a hard time about it. He said something about he's been trying to get you in a Pontiac, or you get him into a Ford. I mean, usually, you know, Wrecking Ball's always in the Toyotas. Raced with you guys last night, I was in a Toyota, so that's, you know, I was following Team Wrecking Ball, but, you know, next week I'll be in a Dodge, so then I can't work with you. But, you know, guys have got to kind of get the similarities back to a, you know, single brand going on here.
I agree. But like I said, you know, this is that 67 was in a Ford these years, and that's the reason we're in there. And so he's gonna have to switch over to a Ford if he's gonna do it, because I can't do Buddy that way, and I can't do Joey that way, his son. So Joey might strip me of that 67 number, tell me I can't race it no more. So can't do that.
I know. I've been picking on you. I picked on you a little bit about it on the zero race, as they called it, the race where we just had a fun race, because you know you did well there. I had to give you a hard time there. Got to give you a hard time about that. You know, it's just the way it goes. Jessica, do you have a question that she has for Garland?
Oh yeah, and by the way, Garland, since I wasn't actually around to see it, I did watch the broadcast, the exhibition that you guys had, and you ended up winning that. So I mean, I was really happy for you. It's something that unfortunately I don't get a chance to see very often, is seeing you up there in victory lane. So really, really a big congratulations on that. I was happy for you for that. So you had the exhibition win, you know, and then now tonight a podium, right? Second. Everything seems to be going pretty good. Like I know you've been around the community for a while. So how much fun are you having now prior to seasons past and any other series? Like right now at this point in your career, like right now, how much fun is this to you right now?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, it was exciting the last time that I got in the booth. It's exciting tonight. It's always exciting when you finish in the top 3, you get in the booth and everything. So no matter where you're at, it's exciting. But I'm gonna be honest, since day one that I decided to come back and actually race this mod, because I've actually got the original mod that come out on DOS. So I've been racing Papyrus NASCAR since like 1994. So, you know, I was gone for a long time. I was gone. And I just decided during COVID, I said, you know what? There's got to be some leagues left. I'm going to go out and I'm going to find one. Luckily, you know, and this is not not like, well, I guess I can say I can promote it. I don't care. Maverick welcomed me in, and I go over and I race with Ben and them some and everything. And then Jeffrey brought me into Talladega Nights, and this is where the whole team formed. So I can't say that today I had any less fun than I do every week. Some weeks a little more frustrating. The fenders get bent up a little bit, motors get tore up, but at the end of the day, we reset the cars, we get back on the grid, and we do it again with all the buddies that's out here. So
I'm glad you're having fun still, and I'm glad that it's still carrying over every single week.
Always. No matter who I'm racing with. Even if it's you against you, Jessica, I know you're going to race me door to door, and you're going to make it fun. So.
Yeah, that won't be for a while. So congratulations on the podium, though.
Hey, would you like to add anything in there, my friend?
Well, we were talking to Ulysses, and I asked him the same thing I asked you. Like, he had a good head of steam coming out of the trioval that final to the checkered flag to give you a pretty good hit. But I guess it looked to us like you just couldn't get the car stabilized enough to take a bump from him, so he had to let up a little bit. He might have been able to shove you to the win.
He could have. We probably should have communicated a little bit better there. I didn't realize how much steam he actually had, and I should have went low and let him just knock the snot out of me. But I didn't, and I didn't know how fast he was coming until he was there. And at that point, it was too late trying to square up where he was at and not be where I was going to take Denny out. So, you don't want to wreck in a trioval and then have all the rest of the cars pass you going to the podium. So, I've learned that over the years that wrecking in the trioval and second and third is really not worth it in the end, especially if you're looking at a championship run for a whole season. It's better to tuck in and go, hey, I lost today, but next week's next week.
Yeah, and second place is better than 15th.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I've been enough 15ths to know that, because last week was not as pretty as this week. Last week was ugly.
Well, like I said, you're going to try to see what you can do about chasing the points championship. So the second place finish, that's a big help towards that. So
yeah, I've gotten better in mid-lap tracks and all, but Talladega is still Talladega, and Jessica's raced with me, Rod's raced with me, Blaine, you raced last night. I can race some Talladega, so I've turned tons and tons of laps out here on Talladega, no matter which one of the BSR tracks it is, or Prime Time, or Talladega Nights, or whatever. and I know where to go on the track to make the car run. So sometimes it's just a matter of being in the right spot, right time, right people around you. And tonight that's what happened. And so, we was able to push it on back up to the front.
I know when I'm racing on super speedways and you're around me, I usually try to get behind you, and try to follow you.
Usually I'm behind Ulysses and I'm pushing the snot out of him and making him cuss across the mic. But and he does the same thing to me. People don't understand when they get behind us that we've done hit each other so hard that getting tapped by somebody else out here is literally nothing. We don't even pay any attention to it. So people apologize all the time over the mics about, oh, I'm sorry I hit you in a turn. I'm like, no, I really want to hit, but I'll let you think that.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to do it. But if you can take it, that's why you get followed all the time.
All right, well, Garland, congratulations on your second place finish. I'm going to give you the opportunity to thank the people that you need to thank that get you here, so the floor is yours.
Hey, well, first I'd like to give a shout out to my wife. She let me come race again tonight, and she's been sick all week with the pneumonia, so she's feeling a lot better, and she said, go race. And so, like I said, I have to give a big shout out to her first for letting me come race. Shout out to my kids, John David, Alex Miguel, and Ashlyn Noel for putting up her daddy coming down here and actually racing. Shout out to Team Wrecking Ball. Ulysses was out here tonight. Seth filled in for a spot again tonight. So we at least had 3 out on the track, and Seth brought home a good victory tonight with just holding that piece of tin can together for 6. So that was pretty amazing on his point. And just a shout out to the rest of the people that I race with.
All right, there you go. Second place finisher tonight, Garland Oaks.
Thanks, Garland.
Thank you, Blaine. Thank you, Rod. Thank you, Jessica. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you, girl.
All right. I was just going to say, Denny Carroll, are you there? But we speaking already. You're in the booth with Rod, Blaine, and Jessica. Come out here. You didn't race last week. So, you come out here tonight and you showed the boys that, one of the better guys at the Super Speedway racing. So tell us a little bit about your night.
It was fun.
It was fun. You avoided all the big wrecks. Most of the time, they're right behind you. Most of the time.
Sorry, somebody was calling at me on my phone. Well, I got lucky and missed those wrecks. I mean, honestly, it's just luck.
Yeah, well, you were leading when most of the ones happened, so that's always a good thing to do. You ran around up front most of the night. You and Randy Waugh got together, and we always talk about how you guys run well together and whatnot, and then it seemed as though as soon as you guys would get together, then something would happen, and Randy Waugh would get tangled up with it, and you didn't. And bad pit stop. You had that bad pit stop at the end there, and got you a little behind. Fortunately for you, Garland Oaks also had a bad pit stop. You guys just kind of, put the nose down, the tail up, and you just charged towards the front, and were able to make your way back up to those three guys in front of you, and eventually pass at the end.
Yeah. Well, actually, what happened was, I think me and Garland and Randy took a can and a half, and Randy forgot to turn his tires off, is why we lost him. But those other guys just took a can, and the reason we run them down is they was having to save that. I don't think the 24 actually made it all the way to start finish line before we ran out of gas.
Oh.
That's how they jumped out so far in front of us. And if they didn't have to save me, I don't think we would have caught them.
Yeah.
But they was having to pedal to save, and that played right in our hands. And Garland, I was going to keep pushing him, and when he started weaving left and right, I thought he was running out of gas, so I went around.
Well, that's all right. So now, like I said, you didn't run the first race. You're thinking about coming over here, even though you've missed one race. That doesn't really take you out of it. You do very well at the Super Speedway racing stuff. You think you're going to come here and run the full season?
I might, for Randy's trying to get me to. These, Super Speedway's got a lot to do with luck. If you get lucky and miss the wrecks and keep your car clean, about anybody's got a shot to win it, I believe. It's just hard to do that sometimes.
I barely have a chance to win these things because I'm not that good at them. But Jessica, do you have a question for Denny Carroll?
Hey, anybody can win at these things, Rod. You just gotta have the right moment, the right time, and the right people working with you to win.
Yeah.
I think it takes more luck than it does skill, I think. Here, anyway, for me.
Denny, so here's what I've noticed, and I've raced with you for quite a bit over in RTG and a few other places and whatnot. I noticed that every time you're behind, someone, and the laps start winding down, you get a little more aggressive. But I'm not saying that's a bad thing. The environment around seems to shift a little bit. And when you were originally with Garland coming up, I noticed that there was a point where you were bumping a little bit more than I would notice, for other people. You were bumping the snot out of them a little bit harder. And there was a couple points in the corners you kind of like bump to go, at that point you have to go. If you're going to catch them, you got to go. How was the environment and the tone of the race in your mind at that point when you and Garland were behind? Were you going to be all full aggressive go, you didn't care, you were going to go straight into it and try to get the lead no matter what at that point? Or were you really trying to focus on just, hey, if I get up there, I get up there, cool, but or was it like, I am going to get up there, I'm going to be really aggressive, I don't care, I know I have the best car, I'm going to win this?
No, I was just trying to help me and Garland catch up. I mean, like Rod said, I don't run over here much. I wasn't worried about points or nothing. And once I saw we was going to catch them, I was actually going to stay with Garland until the tri-oval. And if I hadn't really made my mind up if I was even going to try to pass him yet or not. But when he started swerving, I thought he was running out of gas. That's the only reason I left him on the back stretcher. I would have stayed with him.
I gotcha. I mean, I'm not saying that the aggressiveness is a bad thing. You gotta be aggressive every once in a while, but I was talking to Rod and Blaine about it. I kind of figured that as aggressive as you were going to be at that point. I said, yeah, I have a feeling Denny's gonna go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I hate, the one thing I try my best not to do is to wreck anybody, but I think I'm a good pusher. Actually, I would rather be pushing than leading. I don't like leading a lot of laps. I'd rather be pushing.
You're right. You are a really good pusher, and I mean, I didn't mean any negative when I said that. I was just saying that sometimes you gotta be a little aggressive to, get the job done. But it's not like you're bumping or wrecking anyone. Sometimes you just gotta be a little bit more. Hey, I want it more than you do, without actually wrecking anyone. Which you've been able to actually do that more than I've seen other people, where you can actually be aggressive and not take anyone out.
Yeah, well, Garland was telling me to hit him. He said, I ain't gonna wreck, hit me. And so I was kind of laid it to him.
Blaine, do you have a question for Denny?
I do. I got a couple. First of all, congratulations. Second of all, we don't have your car file. Where are you hiding it? And no burnout.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the burn. That burnout. I went to look and see what happened on a wreck. Forgot to do a burnout.
I was following you. I just put the flag screen up and it disappeared. So I just rewound it and paused it.
Actually, y'all had my car. I've raced over here before. You did have it.
I don't know what's going on then. I'll have to look for it.
I could send it to Rod Messenger again, but you did have it at one time.
I don't have it. Yeah, for some reason, I don't have it either. So if you want to do that, please.
Are the points updated?
Is it what, Jessica?
I might run over here with Randy on Sundays, guys, and I appreciate y'all broadcasting it. Y'all do a great job. I can't wait to watch it.
I was wondering if the points were updated to see if Denny was leading it or not.
Oh no, I didn't race last week.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no way I could be leading the points. I don't guess.
Yeah, there was a few guys actually on the list today that weren't there last week, so it's a bunch of new names.
Spot though.
Just gotta come over and show these boys how it's done.
Yep.
Hey, I was looking at the points from last night. You raced last night, didn't you, Blaine?
Yes.
I did as well.
My point lead over Grant Wesley from last night's 68 points.
Oh.
It's hard to get a 68 point lead on a super speedway.
Yeah.
Especially over Grant.
It takes a lot of luck.
A
lot of luck.
All right, well, Denny, and give me a chance to thank the people that got you here. The floor is yours.
I just thank everybody that lets me race in all these leagues I race in. All you guys do a great job, and I really enjoy racing with you fellas.
Yeah, it's always fun.
I come here and race. I mean, I like to race them, but I believe I like the camaraderie most, if that's how you say it.
Yeah.
You get to get out here and talk with your buddies and horse around, play around, and then get to race with them. You can't beat it.
Yeah, this game's something special, and it's never going to go away.
Yeah, but I see in the last week and a half, I've probably won 6 races, so I'd say once that luck runs out, I'll be 8 months before I win another one. The way it worked last time.
Yeah.
It's fun while it's working, but then when your luck drops, you don't win another for a long time.
Yeah, it's the drought is coming.
Yeah, man. About a year ago, it seemed like I was winning every race I got into for about a week or two, and then all of a sudden I couldn't get a top 10 for 3 months.
Wow.
All my luck just left.
You just got to change your paint scheme. That's all you got to do. Jump in a different car.
Well, I did that. I think that's got something to do with it, whether it does or not. It does in my mind. I've got
weird,
some paint schemes that I cannot race in them. They're just bad luck.
Well, either way, it's going to change for us because we didn't have it tonight. So
yes, exactly. Which might be good luck.
I'm gonna send you that right now, Ross.
All right. Well,
or Blaine, I can send it to you either. Blaine, either one of you, don't matter.
Sure. We'll send it to one of us, and he'll forward it to me. That'll work.
Send it to one of us. He'll forward it to me. So he just told you who to send it to.
Yeah, I guess I sort of did. Yeah.
You gonna start racing again, Jessica?
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry.
You gonna start racing again?
No, I was up here, thankfully, to broadcast. I wasn't really focused on trying to race. I've got, like I said earlier to Blaine and Rod, I've got this little list of people I'm not forgetting who I really have issues with that I will take care of on my own turn. But yeah, one of them is Seth, but Seth is a different story. But anyway, yeah, the next time you'll see me race is probably if I'm forced to sub for someone, or if we do the Daytona 500 exhibition race. But I will be broadcasting with Seth the Christmas race there on RTG though.
Well, get back in there. We miss racing with you.
Nah, you guys have been racing fine without me. It seems like when I left, it made it so much better.
It just made us a car short. That's all it does, wasn't it, Ross?
Well, look at it this way. More people can actually race and join now, instead of having knockout queue all the time.
We'll get over that. I can't qualify with crap. If I don't stay in the top 30, I'll be missing some races.
Think about me. You want me to come back over there? Hey guys, I want to race. Guess what? You're not in top 30. You're gonna have to qualify. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
I need a qualifying teacher. I cannot qualify. If I ever get far enough jump out where I have to qualify my way into one of those races, I probably won't make it.
No, see, years ago, like when I first started racing, like the first 5 or 6 years, I was pretty doggone good and pretty adamant at getting top 3s right off the back when it comes to qualifying. I started racing RTG. I am nowhere to be found in top 10s when we were doing the actual qualifying before we went to lava queue. So to say that I'm actually competitive at qualifying, no.
Yeah, I mean, I can run they run 52s, 40s, 50s at Talladega Nights. I don't know what the speed is at RTG, but I can run a 52.48, which is really good. But the problem is, you can't get a top 15 with that.
Well, I mean, if you really want me to race, I'll think about it. But it's going to be a while before I step back and start getting on the track to race. If I even get on the track, it'll probably during practice just to be goofing off or being silly. But I don't expect to race at all for a few more months in case, we do the Daytona 500 exhibition like we normally do. And like I said, I'll be doing broadcasting, but the only time I'm going to get in is if someone really needs me to step in to bump up the sub, or needing an extra person for a team race or something.
All right. Well, when you come back and race, I'll work with you. You can't beat that, can you, Blaine?
I would appreciate that, and I definitely don't have a problem working with you.
You'll have a good pusher. I'll help you. I can push if you can lead.
Doesn't matter. It works out one way or the other. Someone will get somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather push. Because if you're out front and leading, that gets really boring to me.
Well, I don't like being out front leading, mainly. If I can get to the front, great. If I'm up there at the high side or something like that passing, it's great. But to be honest with you, if you ever pay attention, I always lead a lap and then go back behind someone. The reason why I do that is because it burns less fuel. So basically that's always my reasoning to do that. I'd rather be behind someone pushing and being in line rather than leading and pulling the whole pack using the most fuel.
Yeah, that's how I am. Once I lead a lap, I care less about the lead until the last lap.
I don't know about Rod though. We're talking about racing each other. What about Rod? What about Rod and Blaine?
Oh, Rod knows I'll help him. I'll help Blaine if he wants it.
I just installed that car and fired up the replay. It doesn't work.
Huh?
I actually already had that one. Yeah, the American Ordnance one. I actually said, "Do you want to overwrite the file?" I said, "Oh, okay." So I already had it, and it's still.
Yeah, well, see, I raced there last season, and you had my car file. It was on your YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this one, but I already had this same one. Yeah, you just sent me it. I already had it, and the replay is still showing a hooker headers generic.
Yeah, well, when I looked up at YouTube and said, "Oh, I know what it is, Blaine." Damn it! You know where they made you change your car file names at RTG for their whatever reason? I changed the name of it.
Oh, so is this the same car? Can I just change it?
Yeah.
User error, replace user.
Yeah, or they wanted you to change your car file names to something so they know what series they go in.
Yes.
I changed the name of it. It's the same car. I just changed the name of it. I forgot that.
Yeah, say?
Yeah, 'cause
Now it's
something's-
called 41 underscore
Oh, okay. 41 underscore. Yep.
capital
Send us that
A, capital O.
AO.
Yeah. Underscore capital A 88.cts.car. I bet that fix it for you.
Or you could just send us that car.
Oh, is it? Wait a second. 41 underscore arrow 88. That's it?
Yeah. 41 underscore AO, which is American Ordnance.
Oh,
and then
gotcha.
underscore A88.
Let's see if that
Well,
works.
real quick, guys, I hate to cut this short, but I have to hop off. I've got presents I have to wrap, but I do really highly appreciate you letting me join. Blaine, Rod, I enjoyed being able to do something on the Sunday because I had nothing really to do and I didn't feel like wrapping presents right now at that point. So thank you for letting me join in on this. Denny, congratulations on your win, and hopefully I look forward to seeing you back the next time that I run this.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, Jess.
Yeah, that was
All right.
awesome, Jess. Thanks. A lot of fun.
Thank you both for letting me be part of it. Appreciate it, Rod, Blaine.
There you go, Blaine. I'll send it back to you in case you need
I
to see
got it.
anything.
I changed it, and that's working now. We're good. We're
Yeah,
ready to
I
rock.
think it's the same car, but when I looked at it, you said it didn't work. I see the name of it, and I thought, well, that's the
Yeah.
difference.
Showing it on the broadcast right now. So if anybody's still watching 2 hours and 39 minutes later, this is what the 41 was supposed to look like for the last 3 hours. But we'll have her next week, so it'll be good to go.
Yeah, well, see, when I was racing, I keep my YouTube up where I can see, like, if wrecks and stuff happen, I can see what happened. And I said, Blaine don't got my car.
Because I've seen this car before, and
You do.
that's the thing.
What?
Yeah, you just jumped in a different one.
That's the only Arrow 88 car I race. I got a couple of them, but that's the only one I use.
Cool.
It's a
Well, we're
Rodney
covered
Sullivan
now.
paint job.
All
It's a
right.
Rodney Sullivan special.
All right. Well,
Thank you, guys. I'm going to go watch it.
Okay. You have a good night. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you, guys.
Hopefully I'll see you next week here, and maybe you can win again.
Yeah, Brian said it's his birthday, so we'll wish him happy birthday, too.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks, Denny.
He disappeared before I could kick him out.
He's gone. Yeah. We were just gonna get the boot, and he's gone.
Yeah.
Rock and roll, buddy. Well, any final words?
It was a great race. Some big crashes on that one. Two really big ones, like kind of back to back there. Danny was able to stay out of all of that stuff. Bad pit stops, it all worked out in the end for him. It was, actually a pretty decent race.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, thanks again to All Star Racing for having us do this for them. Join us next Sunday for race number 3 of 8 here at season number 3 on Super Sundays. And of course, thank you, Rod Weston. Thank you, Jessica Lorley. And thanks to Denny for helping us fix that car problem. So next week we won't have any generics on the track. So
I got to get Godfrey's from you, but yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll figure out which one Godfrey's is and send it to you.
Perfect.
And thanks everybody for watching the broadcast, of course. And if Brian Wolf, David Chin, the whole crew there, awesome. Everybody involved, the drivers, and of course everybody watching on YouTube. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. If the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice.